Hello, this is the podcast that drinks and knows things with your host, Abby. Sorry, super loud in my ears. I'm so sorry right now. The music is so loud, but I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah, you can't even remember your name. It's so loud.
I know, it's like blasted in there. It got louder as it was supposed to get quieter, but that's okay. Very strange. At least I can hear it now.
Time. Yeah.
Does it? That's so weird. I was like, I'm totally at the wrong
Does
part.
it to me
Sorry.
too, yeah.
Anyways, not starting over, but I am Abby and I'm hosting tonight. You are listening to our episode titled Ranger Danger. Recording this on January 6th, 2019, Season 6, Episode 6. Game of Thrones episode title is Blood of My Blood. Listen to Drinks and Nose podcast on Radio Public. It's free, easy to use, and helps listeners like you find and support shows like ours. When you listen to our show on Radio Public's Android or iOS app, everyone benefits. Now for introductions. I am joined by Glenn of House Dog.
Howdy.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
And Ben of AKA Sly of House McLean.
Good evening.
Good evening. And Lucan of House Blackmead.
Hi, that's me.
And very excited to introduce to you Mallory Dorn, better known as Sanrixian. Hello.
Howdy, y'all. I'm here.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. I'm glad to see you this
Hello.
time. I know.
We get to meet finally. It's great.
I know. It's going to be epic.
We've already pre-bonded, just to let you guys know.
Yeah. Some kindergarten stories, and we're besties. It's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This show and all of our shows are at thepodcastset.com are produced with the love and support of our wonderful Imaginary Legion patrons. Learn more about our reward tiers at patreon.com/stayimaginary. And I'm real rude. I'm not even asking what people are drinking. Let's start with you, Sanrixian.
This is Drunk Rixian, brought to you by Truly, which is a basically it's sparkling water with alcohol, and I love sparkling water because it helped me not drink soda. So it's a drink that won't make you fat.
Well, there you go.
Shoot.
It's delicious. I just brought the case in.
Just bring the whole case.
You know,
Booze and
5%.
bubbles.
It's basically like Budweiser.
Love it. All right, boys there in the loo. What are you drinking?
We got your classic all black
All black.
from
Ooh,
Modern
like-
Brewery.
Does it have the logo, like the All Blacks logo on it and
It
everything?
has one of those leaves.
It's made with New Zealand hops. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
legit. Supposed to can't get it to focus on.
What is
Fancy.
it? If you're into like sports documentaries, the best one I've ever seen is the All Blacks.
New Zealand rugby team.
Yeah, what is it? It's on Amazon Prime. They have a bunch of like NFL teams or whatever, but that's the one that's worth it.
That's the
Anyways.
ticket.
That's the ticket. Yep. Benj?
I have a Kirin Ichiban premium malt beer.
An Ichiban.
Ichiban. I'm guessing that's how
Ichiban.
it's said.
Ichiban cream.
Unicorn number one,
It's not-
basically.
Yeah, not bad at all. I found it at the store for like $3. I was like, I'll give it a shot.
Classic
Don't-
Japanese
Yeah, don't quote me on this, but I thought Ichiban was like place to eat, but that's cool.
beer. It's
So-
number one.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, my
Ah.
sister's a Japanese language major, so I have all this dumb knowledge.
Random. Yeah, I lived
Yeah.
there for 3 years. I don't. I suck,
Oh.
but that's okay. Moving on.
Yeah, now so
Yeah, so, friend of the show, that's you. Tell us about your current projects and where people can learn more about you and what you are up to.
well, Rhaegar just graced us with his presence. So if you want to just say hello? This is Sir Rhaegar Pergarian.
Gary.
Oh
Gary.
my
That's his
God.
name. He's a very, very good cat.
The pussy that was promised.
Can you repeat the question you asked me? I'm so sorry.
You're good, girl. I just need to know where we can find you, what you're currently up to, and what you're all about.
Okay, so I'm Sanrixian, which is at Sanrixian on Twitter. That's the best place you can find me. That's the best place you can talk to me. Message me, I'll talk to you. We have like a huge community there. If you want to theory craft, if you want to like talk about art, anything like that, I'm down. And then probably the most recent project I've completed, I heard Luke showed off last week, which would be my calendar. And currently I am sold out. So right now I am on a reorder. I need to sell about 14 of them before I can afford to purchase it. So if you still want a calendar, if you don't have a calendar for 2019, choose Sanri. Hashtag please.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's on my store, which is sanrixian.com. Super easy to find. Thank you, Rhaegar. And yeah. That's me.
Wonderful. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Luke, friend of my show. I got a little note over here, but we good on that? To the
What?
side, to the left, it says calendars something. I don't know. Anyways, we'll just go to that previous episode recap. Do you see what I'm seeing? It's gone. Okay, very good.
I think that was
Take
her
it away.
note.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
me.
I'm so sorry. I got it.
That
It
was like
had
literally her
letters-
talking about her things.
It was a self reminder because I am such a ditz. I need
I
those kind of
just really suck at this hosting thing. I keep telling Luke to fire me and he won't.
Oh, you're
So
great.
just suffer through it, everybody. Suffer through. Benj, I believe. Yep, you are on that previous episode recap.
I
Take
think
her away.
So Sansa meets with Microfinger and confronts him about Ramsay. She sends Brienne on an errand and leaves the wall with Jon. A king's moot is held, and Yara missed it by that much. Dany orders Jorah to find a cure for his problem getting a little hard. Tyrion and Varys treat with another Red Witch. Bran gets itchy fingers and logs on without parent permission and gives the King hacker access to the home server. Bran, Mir, and Hodor make a break for it as summer comes to an end, and Hodor tries his best to be a firewall.
So we're gonna do our best to talk about season 6, episode 6,
We'll try.
which lasted. I'm gonna try real hard tonight, guys. You know what? Pause that. I didn't tell you what I'm drinking. Only reason I paused it is because it's a Duplin wine,
Oh,
Black River Red,
It's been a little
in
while.
a mason jar. It has. I felt like I needed to bring it out for tonight.
Yeah, I
I
feel like
also
we
did
haven't
have
had
a
actual
mason
Abby in a
jar.
while because we haven't had the
I-
Black River Red.
We haven't. My beer maiden has been really, useless.
Out of
So,
commission.
yes. Anyways, this episode lasted 52 minutes. It aired on May 29th. Happy birthday, Layla, 2016. The director was Jack Bender and the writer was Brian Cogman. Episode to script. Lucan.
Bran and Mira find a new ally. Gilly meets Sam's family. Arya makes a difficult choice. The Lannisters and Tyrells march against the High Sparrow.
Dun dun dun.
Cool.
All right. So, time for Quill and Tinker Pub trivia. I'm going to preference this question with if you can prove me wrong, you can have your points back.
All right.
All right, here we go. This episode, we see a new Valyrian steel blade. How many Valyrian steel blades have been seen and or mentioned in the show thus far, including today's?
We put our answer in the box, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Are we counting swords or all
Uh,
blades?
see,
Did you
that's-
say blades?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I better it has to. Okay, listen. I cannot search things online like how many Valyrian steel things are in Game of Thrones because I'm not allowed to do that. So,
Because
We don't know that
because
yet.
of spoilers. So, I'm going to say this. They have to have been said. I mean, sword that has been named. That
okay,
And
sword
seen
that
on
has been
screen
named,
and seen on
Okay.
screen.
mentioned,
Okay, mentioned.
mentioned.
but
okay.
seen on screen or mentioned.
Okay,
And if there's
or
one I
mentioned?
don't know about because in the show it doesn't specifically say, Warthog's foot is a Valyrian steel concrete
Alright.
block. You get, yeah.
Okay, so I'm ready with mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Oh, we
I'm
weren't supposed to do it yet. Sorry.
I'm gonna take
Don't hit enter yet.
take a wild guess.
I'm the worst.
All right.
We'll
ready?
see how this goes.
Yeah.
Play that music.
Brown note. Brown note.
All
Okay.
right, 1, 2, 3, go.
All right. So I'm going to defend my number here, because Luke, you're not incorrect, but I'm being semantic.
I know that's what it could be debatable. There is a debate here.
because okay, let's count them. Ice.
Well, let Abby go
Go
through
ahead.
and award points.
Yeah.
The answer that I was looking for was 6.
Okay.
What?
And I
Yeah.
can justify that as well. I went with
Okay.
4.
Because
3 of them are the
We
same
had-
sword.
yes. So this is
but
why
they're
I was
mentioned.
like, this could get tricky. But I was going to ask you all the names of the trees that Sam mentioned, and I figured you'd all think that would be a very Abby question, so I
Poplar
went with
Bluff.
something else.
I like this question. It's a good one.
So we have Ice, Heartsbane, Oathkeeper, Widow's Wail, Longclaw, and the only mentioned other one is Dark
Dawn.
Sister.
Oh, Dark Sister. They didn't mention
That's it.
Dawn. Oh, okay. I was
Not-
thinking. Oh, well, I got
What
lucky
about
on that
the-
guess
what
then.
about
'Cause
the-
I was thinking
is it
Dawn was
just-
the one that was mentioned.
Just swords, or what about the?
The dagger.
The dagger.
That was the swords
Yeah.
only, not the dagger
Yeah.
itself.
It
Oh.
doesn't have a
Sorry.
name.
But
It
Well,
doesn't
then
have
I'll
a name.
go
I
ahead
don't-
and change my
Mention
answer
Dark
to 6.
Sister.
Okay, go for it. Anyways,
It autocorrected.
so
to
Abby,
9.
how are points being awarded? I didn't count Widow's Wail and Oathkeeper as separate from
As-
Ice. Because they're all
I'll
3
give-
the same sword. Same
I'll give it
steel.
to you.
Same batch of steel.
I'll give it to you. That's fine. I'll give it to you. Because I was just gonna have you name them all, and then I thought, well, that's kind of asshole-ish. My questions are always long, so you're good. 4 will buff.
So 6 and 4 are both acceptable answers.
Yes,
Yes.
under the
queen.
preference that
Well,
you
yeah,
wanted.
Yeah, see, now
1 and
Abby gets,
4.
but Abby gets the points from saying.
Oh, my screen's cut in half. I didn't even know she had that.
Yeah, no, it's
honest.
all good. It's
I'm
all
a
good.
genius. It's okay.
No, your points go to Abby. So
What?
our special guest points go to Abby.
Okay,
so her
awesome.
giving you
I wanna
points-
support Abby.
Me too. That means I'm still tied. Benji would have
So.
totally fucked me out of this if I said no. So
It's up to you to score. I wasn't gonna argue it.
no, you're good. Everybody gets points. Points for you. Points for you. And then even I was like, there's probably swords that we've seen that they just haven't named, maybe, or like because you're talking about a dagger. I have no idea what Valyrian steel
Yeah,
dagger we're
it's
talking about.
good. Just ignore
So
it.
yeah. So anyways, opening credits. We have the guy who plays Jaime Lannister.
Nikolaj Costa-Waldau.
Thank you. King's Landing, Winterfell, The Wall, Bravos, Vasto, Throck, and Marine. Sandrixian, what do you think about these opening titles, the music? We'll give you the floor here.
Last time I was on this podcast, you guys asked me what I thought of it, and I was completely unprepared because I realized I'd never actually looked at the intro as like a piece of 3D art, which was absolutely asinine on my part because that's what I do for a living. I do 3D rendering, and I was like, why have I never actually looked at this and like evaluated it? Sorry, my cat's getting pissed off at me. But I think it's like absolutely beautiful, and they do such a good job like creating the feeling of being inside the astrolabe and astroglobe
Labe.
or labe, astrolabe, being inside the astrolabe and making you feel like everything is connected. Like everything is kind of like not storybookish, but almost like mechanical
Mhm.
and has a feeling of like machinery. And for this one, like every time I watch this, I'm like, why does the camera turn sideways? Like, when we go to Vesta Throck. Like, why?
It's not the first couple of seasons when they're like, yeah, and Vasto Throck was on there. I'm like, no, it's not. I have never seen that
Yeah.
because the words are upside down and backwards. And they're like, yes, it says it on the map. And I'm like, where? Like I have yet to see
Because
it.
I can't read
then
like this.
Finally, I was like, oh, okay, fine. That's fun. Are we ready to head north?
Do it.
On the wall.
Heading north. All right. So, north of the wall, we have Bran, Mira, Whites, and Stranger. Mira tries her best to outrun the dead, but the dead never sleep. Bran has visions of not quite sugar plums dancing in his head. A stranger arrives and gives them a gift. Glenn,
Lift,
we're going
I
to start
think.
with you today.
Yeah, so
Oh, a lift.
yeah,
Sorry.
about that. I think what they should do is when they do the previously on of Game of Thrones, like every episode, just have a quick little scene with Bran, like I don't know, touching a weirwood or something like that, and then just
So
having a
here's what
vision
happened.
of exactly what happened last time or something like that. It's just it's an idea.
Yeah, they'll workshop that one.
Work it in.
Benj?
Yeah, so I guess Bran got the password to the Werewood Wi-Fi because he's still downloading as they're moving. You know, he doesn't have to have that hardline connection in anymore.
Using the data.
But yeah,
Data plan.
he's on the data plan. But he's on mobile. But we've seen all of the shots except for 2, I believe. Everything else was not, and I would not try looking for them. Looked at that; those were almost impossible to cap. But yeah, there were 2 scenes in there that we hadn't seen before, but we've been told about. So I think that's kind of, it was interesting if you caught those.
Which one?
Some that
I-
we can't mention for
Oh.
fear of spoiling.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
But there were plenty of things that we have seen before, which were definitely really cool. All the vision stuff in general, I thought was really, really neat. It reminded me of Dany's visions in the House of the Undying a little bit, where it has like, and some of them are kind of like the same things that she saw, which is pretty interesting. And like we see stuff from Hard Home, you know, that they just basically reused from last season,
see
which is fine.
The Night King, a different version of the Night King.
Right. But I thought it was really, really cool. That's my favorite kind of stuff. So I'm always excited when they do that, and you get the ringing out of King Ares burn them all over and over kind of throughout. Pretty good scene.
This was like last time you were talking about Bran having to like download all this information. And it kind of went over my head. I was like, I did not see that. To me, it felt like Bran was just like asleep or whatever in his vision by choice, kind of like he has been before when he didn't want to leave. Obviously, didn't know. But this little first part here where we see that, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's all just like swarming into his head.
He's basically cramming for the big test.
Right. And before I just thought he was, jacking off. I don't know.
That's what he was.
The big blood raven test.
Yes.
Yeah,
How
luckily,
many eyes does blood raven have?
3? I don't know. That would be my guess. That's the crow. He's got 3 eyes. 3s are important.
1,000 eyes in one.
Thank you.
1,000 eyes in one. Yeah,
That's the
sorry.
correct
He
answer,
knows.
but
I don't
3
know.
is also acceptable.
Thank you. I'll take it.
We'll take 3 and 5.
We'll take 3
Anywhere in
and 1,000
between.
plus 1.
All
Brought
right.
to you by Drunk Ixian.
Drink.
What's up? Bud?
Go ahead with your point here. I just thought you said drunk Kixian. So that's what I was going with.
Merge drunk with my username.
Right, Sanrixian. But I thought you said Kixian. So drunk Kixian.
Kixian.
Sure, go for it.
What was I saying?
We're talking about the first
Oh, the first scene.
Scene,
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm going first. I get it. Okay, so first of all, the whole Bran flashback scene made me think of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I was like, "Is Bran the space baby? What's happening?" Like, I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, the first time I watched it, like, I have HBO now or whatever the heck it's called. I watched it on my PS4, and I paused it, and I was like, "Bran, what you doing?" And like, the only thing I can really say other than that is it made me love Mira even more, because at this point she's still going, and she's been going for God knows how long. Like, God knows how long she's been dragging this poor boy through the snow, and she keeps going, and she falls down, and she gets back up, and she keeps going, and I'm like, Mira. And for those who don't know, I have 2 dogs. They're named Liana and Barrick, and they have 2 siblings, and both of which I fostered for a short time, and one was named Mira.
There you go.
Man, to your point right there, I was actually trying to figure out like first of all, my first note in my actual written notes are I can't believe she's still going. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe she is still going. And then I tried to estimate. I'm like, okay, Bran has to be at least like 145 pounds, at least, like very bare minimum. Plus, we have like a solid wood sledge. Solid wood is heavy.
Yep.
Plus, you are dragging all your gear, which a gear pack for one person, easy 60 pounds. For two, who even knows? Plus, every
Probably.
time you step, you're dragging snow with you. Like, she's well over 200 pounds being
I'd
pulled
say
behind her.
300.
Yeah. I mean, easy. And she's 135, 140.
Amazing.
Like, yeah, I'm like, that's impressive. Like, yep, she's definitely a badass.
She should have taken ice skates and gone down the frozen river. You know, that probably would have been easier.
That probably would have, but you know, you
just
shouldn't travel down a
rent a-
path when
rent a
being
sleigh.
tracked.
Or you know what,
You-
Bran's pretty solid stiff right now when he's in dream mode. Just fold him up and slide his ass down. Belly slide him.
I would
you
have
know?
just, yeah, like
push him.
just abandon everything else. I don't know why. Like, just drag Bran at this point would be my.
Just throw him on
Have your
back.
weapons. Yeah, fireman carry him right out of there. But like every step you take in the snow, you're sinking it. Like it. That's difficult.
Every move
And
you
then
make.
every step you
Every
take.
step you take,
And
every snow you
She'll be carrying him.
drag.
but then like she even apologizes. Like, I'm sorry. She has just given everything.
She's
It is
exhausted. I
still
mean,
sorry.
yeah.
And then I think we go where they get saved. They get a lift.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else get the sense like that was what the guy I've been waiting for? What's it called? A thurbital is the actual technical term, but it's the incense
Mm-hmm.
that the priest at
Oh, yeah.
when you're doing the coffin.
We
You know,
were all raised in St. Louis.
sorry, so
We all
everybody
had to
here
go to
gets it.
Catholic Church.
Okay,
We all
all
had
right.
to see the guy go, "Oh, my vida," and
Yes.
swing the gong of frankincense.
And then
So-
us with asthma got to leave church at that point.
I'm having an asthma
I was the
attack.
one that had to swing it. 'cause-
It took another
yeah,
half
I
an
was
hour.
Be an altar girl, dude.
That yep, for the
Or-
funerals every
Or that
time.
when you
But
waste the time on a Sunday.
I always used to think if that could just be wielded in the correct way, that would be an impressive weapon. Proof right
Proof.
here. Like amazing. Everybody
Confirmed.
You can use a cross as a sword.
cross is a sword.
Or
this-
the Exorcist taught me something else, but we'll leave that
It's
alone.
like a mace on like a chain.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yep.
It's literally what we just saw Benjamin have instead of flaming with incense that smells terrible in it. But
He just came.
And it's
maybe
called-
maybe he still is using incense. I don't know.
He came from Mass.
maybe it's called a
A thurible.
thurible. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Catholic education. Okay, moving on.
Hang on. What school did you go to? What high school?
We went to Trinity and Aquinas Mercy.
Then I went to Hazelwood West.
Nice.
Yes.
Francis
Sorry, it's the
Howell
St. Louis thing.
Central, but I knew a lot of Duchenne people.
My
Sorry, I
my
can't say
cousin's-
that online. Can't record that. It's a St. Louis thing, guys. High school matters. All right.
Yes.
So we have Bran, Mira, and Benjen. The stranger is none other than Benjen fucking Stark, raised from the dead.
And read the next part
Hallelujah.
there. And go ahead and read that next line down.
Bran wakes up and Cold Hand cooks rabbits. Cold Hand confesses to getting gut stabbed with ice.
Children of the
Some-
forest.
Children of the forest.
There we go. Thank you guys. Help him. And they turn him with obsidian dun.
God.
I'm sorry.
The Night King is coming and Bran will be ready. I should have pre-read through this. Sorry. So basically, this is what happens in this scene. Benj.
Yeah, so I'm gonna defer to Sanri here because my note kind of goes in with hers. I'm good with his consolidation because Abda's character is a consolidation in the books. We don't see him in the shows, so it's not a spoiler of Cold Hands.
Yep.
And so I'm okay with it because it's instead of introducing a whole brand new character for this one-off as of right now, let's wrap up the storyline that we had. it kind of works. Sanri, I will defer to you to kind of go with your little rant that you got typed in there.
But what about Cold Hands, man? Like,
I
Cold
wish
Hands
they would have
rides
had
an
him.
elk.
Yes,
He
I
has an
wish.
elk with
Yes.
majestical antlers.
Agreed. They should have had the
like,
elk. That's an easy one they could have
10-foot
done.
antlers. You can do that with foam. Put it on the horse. I don't fucking care. Just
it on
give
a
me an antlered elk.
Absolutely agreed. No, I'm not saying I like it. I'm okay with this consolidation. You know,
I feel like I get it because to people who don't read the books, it would make sense that Benjen, the only character we know who went beyond the wall, and then he came back, would be alive, and he observed the same ritual. What I thought was really interesting, just rewatching it, was it was the same ritual that the children performed, and he like straight up said, he was like, they shoved an obsidian dagger into my freaking heart, dude. That's how I became what I am.
That's
I'm
how
not a
metal I am.
yeah.
A, I'm metal. B, my horse could have been an elk.
Yeah, the,
Yeah.
the elk thing is really the
Right.
thing that,
Right.
that upsets me the most.
I think what was it,
Yeah.
season 7? I said.
I mean,
you could
like,
choose
I
a
have the
reindeer or something like that.
personal-
Mhm.
There's elk.
Yeah. And so my other note to that though, so
He's
the
a
children
great
found him, but let the 2 other guys that he was with just die. They
They're-
possibly could have obsidianed them as well,
They
and
weren't
had
important
3
enough, though.
cold hands.
Probably.
But no, they only made 1. You know, so
Well,
it's
he
like
They
was
only had one.
chosen.
We only have one dagger.
And
Yeah,
you're gonna
exactly.
you're gonna choose a Stark if there's a Stark at hand. So
But
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of it as more they use those 2 to send them to the wall to kind of cause the domino effect of getting John and Mormont to come north, you know, keeping Benjen alive, and then having those 2 kind of incite that we can bring that north, and it causes a whole domino effect of all the other shit we've seen happen because they know everything that's has and will happen apparently. So just kind of could make sense on that. Just random theory crafting as I go here.
Well, to get back to things I have some idea about, let's go with Glenn because I can't wait for you to read this, buddy.
Okay, so like before this, I remember like it seemed like Benjen was a huge mystery.
Can confirm.
And it just seemed like there's a lot of theories and shit out there, and I think it seemed though like the payoff was for Dan and Dave to be like, can you please stop asking about Benjen? Here you go. There he
fine,
is.
he's
There
fucking
he
back.
is.
Fine, you can have him.
He's right
Here
I
here.
will, I will never stop asking about Benjen. I have wondered since season 1,
Yeah,
where's Benjen?
yeah, you've consistently
So-
been asking about him.
Oh, man.
Thank you. I like that what I've been asking about or whatever was like an annoyance to them. I don't like it makes me feel kind of like, ooh, cool. I got my way.
Yeah.
So I ruined the whole book. They switched it all around
Did it.
for me. Thank you. Luke,
So whenever Glenn was talking about how Bran's kind of getting his all of his studying in for the big exam, right? And he's cramming, and it's nice that Benjen kind of brings him some 5-hour energy here to continue this cram session. He gives him some squirrel blood concoction, I guess. So good on him. It's nice uncling, if you will.
Rabbit?
And I like maybe a brace of conies. I don't know. But I like that Bran is getting this conversation with Benjen, and it seems like Bran's going to be the #1 defense against the Night's King whenever shit hits the fan. He's like, Benjen's telling you have to get to the wall, and you have to be ready. And when the Night King gets there, you're going to be ready. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a
You'll
neat
be
little
ready.
conversation that they have, and kind of really ups the
You're not ready now.
The
but
power
You will be
Very
ready.
important.
that
Yeah.
Bran kind of
Like,
carries.
he
Red
just
blood
became-
gives you wings. Very nice, Phil.
They
He
could
just
use some
became
wings.
like the three-eyed raven, though. Like, that's really important, and that's huge to the story. And he's like, okay, yeah, I understand that you just like got the Wi-Fi password to the Werewood net, and you're downloading all the information, but you need to get your ass going. Get going now. One of those kind of things.
I thought it was very I won't say fatherly, but like a male figure in your life giving you like a pep talk you need to hear. Not necessarily that it's like, oh, you're so great, but like hey, you're going to do this and we're going to do it and you're on your way, so get your shit together.
So are
Just
you
get
like
your shit together, Bran.
Yeah.
Pack it up. Get your shit together.
Yep.
I know Luke gets that one, and Glenn.
Yep. Take your shit, put it in a backpack, and take it with you.
Sounds good. Get your backpacks on. Who's ready for Horn Hill?
All right.
Sure.
Sure, man.
All right. Horn Hill. This is exciting, guys. We have Sam, Gilly, Little Sam. Come on, assholes. What are these people's names?
Melissa and Tala.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I don't really think you're assholes. I just can't read. So, those two chicks. Sam
Some
arrives
broads,
home.
don't worry about it.
some finely dressed broads. And Sam arrives home and is warmly greeted by some of his family. Accurate statement. He is warmly greeted by some of his family. I thought it was really cute. His sister, I'm assuming, yes, that's his sister. She's like, "Oh, to Gilly, what's your color?" Like, Gilly just gives her like the fuck are you talking
Gray.
about? Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
I'm colorblind, so black or white.
yeah, don't matter. Don't matter.
Colorblind though, because she's inbred.
Oh, well, she's up north. She only sees. I see brown. There's some trees.
A lot of shades of white.
A lot of shades of white.
Gray and blue and maybe a little yellow.
Yep.
Here there. What's your favorite color?
Benj.
You're a nervous talker. Well, it's better than being a nervous mute. Come on, dude. But also, Horn Hill is a badass seat. It's probably my third favorite castle.
Top three.
Top three. Erie #1, can't beat that one. Then Heron Hall, but that one's a fucking coolest building.
Glenn.
Yeah, so no shit, he's nervous. Like Sam's father, like makes him give up all these titles and or like his, life to go to the wall, and he like threatens to kill him if he doesn't. Like that sounds pretty bad. But it seems like lots of families have one wild card in the family that just kind of doesn't fit in. But the family always shows unconditional love. But that's the exact opposite you see here with the Tarley household. The guy's kind of a dick.
He's kind of a dick.
Kind of is an understatement.
Yes. Luke.
I don't
You
have
got anything?
I don't have a whole lot here. Yeah, it's a cool new environment we get to see. His mom seems like just awesome, right? I mean, just like really, really motherly and welcoming, and just
Like the cool mom.
yeah, just
She
like the
just
cool
seems
mom.
like a mom.
Right,
Like
it's just
a
really well
mom.
done.
That's his mom.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I
She's
agree.
a great mom. She
Yeah.
really is. She like cares about him, and it's obvious how much she cares about her children just from her presence.
Yes. No, you're good. Go ahead.
He invites
Go ahead with.
Oh,
all the
is
all
it
the
my
friends
turn?
over for
Yeah.
pizza.
Yep, Kool-Aid after wiffle ball. It's fine. Yes, Sanderson, you can go.
Okay, so I have written in my notes that Sam knows 4 types of trees because he's like talking about the trees, and he's like, a willow, an oak, and I'm like, Sam, you know more trees than that. Come on, bro. I really like that Gilly's like, hey, like you didn't tell them I was a wildling. Like you needed
Yeah.
to tell them that, guys. That was important.
It's kind of a big piece of information.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
About your tree talk there, I literally, because I'm a nerd, in a different way than other people are nerds. So he talks about the elm, the
Beech and poplar.
Poplar
beech
Bluff.
poplar, and the odd willow, which is
Odd
what he
willow.
calls it. But I'm like, okay, are these even like native to the same type of climate? So I totally went on looking at like zoning, and then in Europe, because I'm like, it's
So
kind of
proud of
based.
you. You'd make a great meth head.
Yeah, probably I would. Too bad I'm not. But
She will
I
You'll
will
make
soon.
it there once you
Yeah.
finish this. Trust
And
me.
I was like, I'm totally gonna find out like that's like not even doable. Like those trees wouldn't coexist. They do. I was so bummed. They did the research. They could all totally be there
Georgia
together.
is tricky like that. Like there's been like I don't want to ruin anything for you because I know you're a first time watcher, but there have been essays done on trees and the symbolism of trees, specifically willows, werewoods, the blackwoods, like Joe Magician, and a couple other meth heads who I can't think of right now have done a lot of research on that and like the mention of trees through the writing and what it means. And it's
No.
super deep.
That gets me very excited because I was literally then I like started looking. There's like this black something elm, and it's the most endangered tree. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. But anyways, once I
Yeah,
get on the
girl.
meth, I'll start reading all these essays y'all have been writing.
You said myth, not meth, right?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
said
right.
meth, but we're going
Meth.
with it.
Okay.
Meth.
When
Meth.
she gets on the meth,
Yeah.
Meth heads
Meth.
is a little different than myth
That's-
heads.
I thought she called me or said I was a meth head, so I needed to be.
Myth, my
And I
darling.
was
You need to be a
like,
meth head to learn about
okay,
this stuff.
sure. And then
Sorry,
you're like,
myth.
we'll be there soon. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go with being a
This
meth head. I
took a
don't know.
turn.
You gotta try it.
Didn't know what I was getting
You
signed
just-
up for.
You just embrace things and try it, right? That's how we roll
I'm
here.
so sorry. I speak so poorly.
You
No,
can't
you're
tell we're
good.
all from Missouri here. You know?
Myth.
Yeah.
I wash my quarters in the washing machine.
Quarters.
Highway
Oh.
Farm.
Hey, just don't say farks before if her mother is on this
Farts.
channel. She'll be pissed. So
My dad says wash.
so
I
does
live
my
in
mom, and she
It's
gets
the
pissed.
Washington Nationals. Sorry. Just auto
All
rage.
right. Did everybody get their points in here? I don't even know. Sorry.
I think so.
Probably.
All
Yeah, I
right.
think we're good.
I hate this half screen thing I got going. Sorry. It makes me crazy. All right. So we go into a really fun scene here with Sam, Gilly, little Sam, the well dressed broads, Randall, and Dickon. Sam and Gilly.
Well dressed broads.
They are. Oh, man. Sam and Gilly and the Charlies share a dinner. Randall is intrigued by where she comes from, and Sam decides to take what is rightfully his. Glenn, we're going to start with you.
Sure. So this is kind of, takes back. You've heard Randall Tarley be, as a dick. Now you get to see him as a dick. Just very intimidating, kind of like similar to your Charles Dances of the world. Like even before he speaks, like the looks he gives seem like they could burn holes.
I couldn't agree more. I have on my note, like, he is as terrible as I imagined, and it's very similar to Tywin in the way you put it. Like, you hear these terrible things about him, or you expect him to be this guy, and he does not disappoint. So he's pretty great. I also think I don't know, I like Frozen. I don't know about you guys, but so Gilly walks in this dress, right? She's like, it's kind of hard to walk in. She looks like Anna when she falls into the river before she hits the oaken trading post. Cool. No, anybody?
I can
No.
see that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Frozen,
one
Frozen's
reference.
overrated.
It's fine that it's overrated.
Well, you should just let it go.
Just braid your hair and let it go. All right, whatever.
Here's that soft toss for you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Patiently enduring for y'all.
Yeah.
As a professional 3D animator, I have opinions, and that's all I'll say.
You can share your opinions. Now
No,
would be a
it's
great
alright.
time.
Nah.
Go with your note, then. Get us off
Okay.
this.
So we are talking about the scene where they're having dinner, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the first note I have is talking about how great I think Cornhill is, which I think we've already touched on. It's a beautiful place, and I would totally live there if Sam's dad wasn't such a chode smoker. So that being said,
Chode
like
smoker.
when Gilly dresses up in like an actual dress, and Sam's like, "You're beautiful," I'm like, Sam, fucking, she was always beautiful, man. You know it. You know it in your heart, Sam. Why did you love her in the first place? And I was kind of mad at him for like telling her that under those circumstances. But I would like to accept that maybe it was just not pointed out to us earlier in scenes that he's told her she's beautiful. Because Sam, I think, is like a George self-insert in a way. Like he's like the nerdy little boy whose mommy and daddy and sister like didn't really get him, and his mommy and sister tried to help him, but his dad hated him. So I don't know. Maybe that's me not understanding George too well, but there might be something there.
No,
I will. Sorry, Bench. I'm not
Okay.
gonna like really disagree with you because I see and kind of even thought that like, oh, now she's pretty because she's in a nice dress,
Thank you.
asshole. But at the same time, if my ass gets out of my yoga pants and t-shirts and puts on a dress, and my husband doesn't say, "Wow, you look great," yeah, ain't happening
Yeah,
tonight for you, bro.
I
Mm-mm.
agree. I hard agree
So,
with that one.
so he better say something.
Yes.
You look nice.
You look freaking phenomenal in that dress, Skelly. I will say that.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say to your other point about Sam being kind of George's what's the word I'm looking for? But his what he sees himself as. I think Sam is what George sees himself as, but Tyrion is what he wants himself to be as, at least personality wise. He always thinks he's. I'm not downing on George for this, but he wants to be the smart, quick-witted, charming guy, even with the shortcomings. Sam's not the quick-witted guy, but he's smart. So I think it's like a mix between the two of what he thinks other people see and what he wants to see himself as in those two characters. So, but I definitely don't disagree with you.
I would
And do you
agree
have
with that. Yeah.
another one on this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
there is an interesting line from Randall. My son always wants to be reading about the achievements of better men than actually doing them. It's a great insulting line to a bookworm, but at the same time, it's one that I think will stick with Sam down the line. But this show just has a hard on for dickhead dads. It does. We lose one in season 4 with Tywin. We get Roose Bolton. We lose
Rest his
Roose.
heart.
We lose Roose Bolton, then we lose fucking Theon's dad, and now we get Randall fucking Tarly. It's like, god damn it, can't we just go like 5 episodes without a dickhead dad?
There must
And
always
even
be a dickhead
Stannis.
dad
Stannis was a
on-
dickhead dad.
Word. Agreed.
Just saying.
This was a dickhead. The end.
Yeah.
Don't at me, fucking Brendan Beefish. He knows.
Luca
his
Ferocious.
Yeah, so not only is there a dickhead dad, there's also a dick on Dickin.
Dickin. That's why I named him Dickin.
That's what
I'm a
it's
dick.
Dickin. I want to be a Dickin
Dickin.
just like my dad.
Should be Dickin Jr.
Hi.
So the course of this meal takes a turn for the worst as Gilly kind of Freudian slips a bit on coming down from the wall as she's doing a great job of defending Sam in this pretty rough social environment for him, and she's exactly right. But Tarly Randall is like, now hold on just a minute there. What
Hold on,
the
you're
fuck did
sweet
you just say about
kids.
coming down to the wall? Where the fuck are
Yeah.
you
Down.
from?
Mhm.
And it just kind
Wow.
of gets worse. Like, it's one thing for him to be, like Glenn pointing out, like shooting eye daggers across the table and everything, and then they'd aren't you fat enough? Saying like, do you really need more bread?
You
And
fat fuck.
and then it just, I don't know. He like basically threatens with the sword, and because they have to point out the sword here as well, and it's just so arrogant, and he's just a piece of shit. I don't know. Really, really well done. Like for getting the feel of that character.
I will say, I again am reading Clash of Kings, right? Is that the one I'm reading?
Mhm.
Sorry, that's Robe. But I just got to the part where fuck, what's her name? I really suck at this, guys.
Brienne.
Well, she just got named to Renly's Kingsguard.
Mhm.
I was going for John's stepmom or whatever, but I couldn't.
Cat.
Catelyn.
Catelyn, there we go. So she
John's
shows up.
stepmom.
At
Yeah.
Bitterbridge.
John's
Yeah, I'm like, I can't come up with these damn names right now.
I
It's like,
love it.
but
You get it.
so but Tarly's there, which this is the first time we see him, but he's mentioned way back many seasons ago now, and it's just, I don't know, a good portrayal, I guess, of him. It would have been fun to, I guess, have Dickhead Dad for longer, maybe. I don't know.
Dickhead dad. Dickhead
My-
dad.
Which
My
dickhead dad?
Yeah, all of them.
It sounds
Which-
like a
All
board
of
game.
them.
It's
Dickhead
Dickhead
Dad.
Dad.
So my favorite Dickhead Dad is undoubtedly
Dickhead Dad,
Tywin. Duh. But like I want to say morality, like where people are getting their what they think is okay, like this realm that they live in. He's cool. Randall Tarley's cool with like raising his hated son's bastard who he broke a sacred vow and oath to even have. Like, that's cool. We have come to terms with that and we're going to just push through it. It's fine because he's blood of the person you hate so fiercely. But her being logistically north of the wall is just too much. Like, I just have a hard time understanding the hate, I guess. Like, why is that so deep to him? And it just is.
It's just
stupid.
ingrained in their society, the xenophobia of it.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, he's like a Southlander too.
Mhm.
Like he's not a Northerner. Like for him to have that kind of hatred, I totally get your point, Abby. Like, why does he hate her so much? Like he's a dickhead, but that just emphasizes his dickheadery. to the
Yes.
fullest.
Yeah. Because to your point, Sanri, it's of, if he's from the north, like the Umbers or Karstarks, it makes sense for him to hate the wildlings that much. But from where they're located at, that has there's no
So,
fucking
he's
reasoning for
probably
him to.
never seen a wildling before.
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess
Be
honestly.
wildling sister.
what I'm questioning more than that is, so you can hate this person without knowing them, which again, through history, this happens all the time, sadly. But like, that is too much. That is like fighting words, not cool. You're out, never come back. But raising the son of the son you hate,
Like even
who
through
you
that,
who you exiled, like that would be cool though. Like, why is that so cool? I just don't
Because
get.
it's somewhat redemptive. And
Yeah.
that's probably not a real word, redemptive, because I'm very drunk right now.
it's real
But-
enough. We get it.
Yeah.
It works. It's
Make it
close
work.
enough.
Like, he's doing one good act, even though he's a complete piece of shit. He's like helping his son in some way by giving that child a place to live, even, and giving Gilly a place to live.
And in
It's-
his
it-
mind is, if I have a hand in raising him, maybe he won't turn out like his father, but more like his uncle, So it's better that I actually have a hand in raising him to maybe make him
Just
better.
wants to be a little more like Dickon.
Yeah.
more like Dickon.
Everybody wants to be like Dick.
I want to be like Dick.
My last thought on this one,
Try not
and
to be a total stiff.
is again, Glenn.
He's all
is
right.
that Gilly is so like ride or die. She is the girl every dude needs. Everybody needs a
Seriously.
Gilly. Like, she is gonna have your back. She's even gonna say shit to back you up. Kind of when you're like, don't say much, and she's gonna be like, "Fuck no, that's wrong." And
Someone's
then,
got to say something.
Yeah, and
That's
guess
gonna
what?
be
It's gonna
me.
be me. Yeah, because fuck them. And then she's like, "Oh, we're leaving. Cool, let's go." She's ride or die. I like Gilly so
She
much.
is really, she brings the best out in Sam. She
Yep.
pushes him, and that's like that old dumb saying, like, behind every strong woman or behind every strong man there's a stronger woman.
Yep.
Gilly is a really strong woman. I mean, you've been through so much trauma in your life if you just think about it. In her life, where she was like raped by her dad ish.
Yeah.
Like, so the fact that
husband.
she's here and she's still kicking it and she's trying to raise this kid and she found this guy to which her is absolutely incredible. Like, I'm so proud of her. Like, she's
She's-
made it this far. Like,
She-
I don't really like her as a character because she kind of grates on my nerves after a while, but that's honestly just like me being particular.
I can definitely see that. She reminds me a lot of people I know personally, just the attitude wise, like where she's not dumb, but she's lets herself be perceived as dumb, kind of
Mhm.
thing. But it's one. I do like the scene, and I love the afterwards where she's like, "Okay, well, when are you leaving? In the morning? Oh, okay." And she was like, she didn't want it to happen. But
First
she's like,
light.
this is what. Yeah, at first light, but this is what we gotta do. And then as Abby said, as soon as he's like, "Okay, get your shit, we're going." Okay.
I don't have shit. I'm ready. What
First-
a woman.
First Light
She
Part
didn't
2.
even take an hour to get
Let's
ready. I
Yeah.
mean, amazing. King's Landing? Anybody?
Let's do it.
One
Alright.
last thought on
Sorry.
just kind of the end of this, where we have
Mhm.
the two talking in the room, and like Sam like saying goodbye to the baby. Like you can tell it's kind of tearing him up inside, and it's a hard thing that he's basically walking away from because he has to, and then he's like kind of apologizing to her for not standing up to his father because he was like, I didn't want him to throw you guys out. I wanted to basically roll over a bit
Mhm.
to keep that door open for you guys. And
Got
she was like, I'm not mad at you.
Right.
I'm mad that there are bad people. Bad people that treat people, good people that way. It's just sucks
Yeah.
so much.
So you're saying he didn't
Yeah,
want to
that
create
and-
like a pissing match.
Right.
And Luke, if you go to D27,
D27.
yeah. But kind of from there, he goes and takes what, like I said in the notes, is rightfully his.
Hank?
He grabs that sword, and
I was gonna say rightfully his.
But he did give up his. You're right. He did
No,
give up his.
Randall's not dead.
Still.
The painting was a gift, Todd.
I'm
Still.
keeping it.
The rug brought
He
the room
steals
together.
it.
But still, he nabs it. But I wanted to ask. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. He knew because John had made back from Hardhome before him and Gilly left. Correct? They hadn't left before Hardhome, so he knows about Valyrian steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's taking it.
I didn't even question that. I thought that was definitely the reason why. Like,
I was just workshopping that through, making sure. So, okay, that's all.
But you could have been right that he wouldn't actually have the knowledge. But in my limited view, I was like, well, duh, he wants it. He's gonna be the one fighting these guys. So, or he'll give it to somebody who is, because that's what kind of
Valyrian steel.
Yep.
There are only how many?
There's either 4 or 6 confirmed.
Well, there's
sometimes we accept 9.
Technically, right now, there's only like 4 that we know of in the show. Longclaw, the 2 Whittleswale, and Oathkeeper, and now Heartsbane are the only 4 living
the 4 living
that we have.
The dagger.
Yeah.
He could,
That's true.
And a dagger that apparently we don't know about.
We don't know about this
dagger. Okay.
Boys,
Or I missed something. That's okay. That's very likely too. All right, King's Landing. Anybody? Take me on a Jojen train.
Jojen.
So we have the High Sparrow, Marjorie and Tommen, the king and the faith leader chat, and he is rewarded with a word with his bride. Anybody want to talk about this?
I mean, the only thing
Go
I
for
have
it.
on
Don't everyone jump it.
yeah.
Go for
One
it.
way or
Let's
another,
skip
we
this
all
one.
need to atone for our sins. You know, makes you wonder what she was put through since the last time we saw her with Loras when she was being strong, or what fucking gears are working in her head when she says that. You know, that's my only thought on it. It's like just 2 episodes ago, she was telling her brother, "Be strong, be strong, be strong." Now she's like, "We all have to atone for our sins." What you mean by that, hon? You know, just do you mean we as me and you, or the royal we as everyone?
What you thinking about now?
What you doing?
Yes, I just like, what fucking game are we playing now? I'm so confused, and she is about as confusing as any good woman should be. So cool, but you know, what the fuck is up? I don't. Okay, sure. I guess we get some answers a little later on, at least in my opinion. But like, this is such a drastic change that I was very like, hold up, confused. Sanrixian, you can go ahead.
Oh, well, Tommen is a human potato. And
Yeah.
I feel so bad for this poor child. I was just responding to the chat right now. But, like,
Maybe if
he
somebody
is
teach him.
so freaking dumb. And I'm like, why can't you see this? Like, come out of your little potato brain and see what's going on right here, because like I also agree. I agree that like something weird is going on with Marjorie, and like obviously she's been through some shit or she wouldn't be admitting to half the shit she's admitting to. And she says something along the lines of, it's not an easy thing of admitting to yourself what you really are, and also like how good I was at seeming good. So I'm like, girl, what happened to you down there? Like, what happened in the cells that made you really address who you truly were and look at what you were doing and objectify it in that manner? Because she like is hardcore going really deep into what she's truly doing.
I see, and I just see it as her lying out of her ass. Like, she's like figured out a way to, I just don't like being so good again, seeming so good. And
So
look, yes, and she's doing it in this way. And I'm like, oh, I don't see the play here. I get answers, I guess, in a couple scenes, but the whole time I'm like, wait, nothing has happened down there that we hadn't already seen or whatever. Yeah, it was probably shitty or whatever, but she didn't break. Marjorie don't break. She don't bend. Like, she's still cool. What the hell's going on?
Proud Unbroken is Dorn, though, sadly.
Yup. Luke, you have no notes.
Yeah, I'll just kind
Any
of
thoughts?
bounce off what you guys were kind of touching on, where she's talking to Tommen and she asked the question of, "Hey, have you talked to the High Sparrow at all?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have." Like, "Oh, it was cool and stuff." And she was like, "He's not really what we thought he was. What is he?" Because she's like trying to gauge where he's at on things
Exactly.
because she doesn't know what he's been up to. Like, she
Yeah.
just doesn't know.
If they're in cahoots or not.
And so she's like, gauging his response, and Tommen's like, no, he isn't. He's much more ... And
she's
Marjorie's
like,
just like, yeah. Let's not finish that sentence.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let me just act like I'm agreeing with you enough to make these wheels turn for whatever plan she's got going on. And I just think I don't know. She does a great job here. I think the acting is pretty interesting. It's confusing because it's supposed to be.
right.
She's playing her part
Mm-hmm.
really well.
She's too smart. And anybody else besides Glenn? I'm not forgetting you. I just want to finish out with your.
You just don't want me to say my note. Okay, I got it.
No.
This is a
I just
bad
want to
note.
finish out
It's
with,
terrible. It's a terrible
the-
note.
the wise comparison
would
you
you
have
write
coming
that?
for us. So go ahead, Glenn. Nobody else.
Oh,
has a
I'm
thought.
ready.
Go, it's
I'm
your
good to
floor.
go now.
Yeah,
I got
you
clearance.
go.
All right, so next scene.
You got cold
Fly
hands.
now.
So, like, if this is supposed to be her cell, like, it just looks like a lot better than Cersei's. It kind of what I would imagine Martha Stewart's jail cell looked like when she was in the clink.
It's the VIP cell.
The clink. The clink.
She got the
Marjorie-
comfy suite.
Right. This is not your Gen Pop. It's
Oh, I've had far too much alcohol.
Oh my god. Marjorie is your Martha of Westeros.
She's gonna tell you how to lay out your tablescapes.
Someday I hope to
next
be
week.
Martha Stewart. It's really my dream. But anyways, more on that later. So we're gonna go to Mace, Olenna, Marjorie, Tommen, the High Sparrow, Septa, Umbrella, Jaime, Sparrows, the Tyrell army, and some townsfolk. Mace and Jaime lead forces against the Seven. The High Sparrow drops the hammer, and Tommen has joined the faith. Who wants to take her away here?
I guess I'll go since I went
Go for it.
last time. I'll go
Yeah,
first this time.
perfect.
So it's always seems like a tennis match with the Sparrow and against other people. In this case, the Tyrells, but it seems like the Sparrow's always up 15 love or something like that.
Definitely the love. He doesn't even have to come back down from it. He's
What
Huh.
in tennis terms does love mean?
Zero.
He can win.
Zero. That's for whatever reason they call zero love.
Love. Yeah.
Haven't you ever played Wii tennis?
I played Mario tennis.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's such a good tennis game.
Mhm.
Oh, it is a good tennis
I
game.
did not pay attention. I was very bad at Mario tennis. Full disclosure.
I really hope, Benj, that you got a screen cap. Mace Tyrell's feathers freaking kill me.
There it is.
Like,
There they are.
Oh, I got the feathers. Oh,
In
fuck yeah.
all their feathery glory. They are just a
What'd you
cherry
think
on
of his
top.
speech?
Actually, I thought given and delivered by, like, I don't know.
Anybody else?
Well,
No.
no, yeah,
Varys.
not really anybody else, but I'm thinking like today is not that day. Given by
Aragorn.
him. Yep. Then I was gonna call him Strider, then I was like, I don't think that's right.
It is
but
right
it is
still.
right.
It's right.
It is right.
Technically correct.
It's
It is
right.
right. That would have been cool. Everybody would have been battle roar, storm the city. No, this was just all like nothing. Dead.
You saw what we all saw.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
We saw him in the feathered plume.
yeah.
And it was just disappointing.
I
that
like
we
the
couldn't-
ceremonial get up. I think he looks great. And I think the speech was well delivered. He was impassioned. He had great points.
Did
I
you
guess they're
see
all
him,
deaf.
though?
They're just deaf.
You look at his face.
See, the thing though, I think that the speech is great. I think that he delivers it well. nobody respects him or cares what he has to say. The poor guy.
Right. It's like this is like his one chance since the rebellion to actually like lead a group of soldiers, and it just he's been waiting for this opportunity. And he,
Okay, let's talk about him leading soldiers. Sorry, I'm totally gonna jump in here because I thought my Tywin inspired, being proud of, pat on the back kid plan was stamp of approval. I think we called it the Tywin seal of approval last time. That the Tyrells would be leading this fucking charge or this mission. But here we have Jamie fucking Lannister ruining everything by being right up there. What the fuck, Jamie?
Dude, he wrote up there like a badass straight out of
Yeah.
Tywin
I mean,
Lannister's
but-
fantasy.
But Tywin wouldn't have done that. Tywin would have just been like,
Tywin
Go ahead,
would have rode up those
Tyrell.
stairs and
no,
been
he
like,
wouldn't have
"Bitch,
because
bow."
he would no.
I'm the
He
dickhead
yeah, no,
dad.
he wouldn't need a
This is
fucking
what's
army.
going down.
Tywin would be just go yank and pull. But like the whole plan was for other people to have all the risk and everybody reap the reward.
and
But here
Lannisters
we
keep their hands clean of the whole thing.
But here we
but
have
in fairness,
fucking
the Lannister
Jamie-
army keeps their hands clean. Jamie still is the leader of the King's Guard. He's still Lord Commander of the King's Guard. So the Queen's protection is still his responsibility. So for him to do it, it's fine. For the rest of the Lannisters, it's not okay.
all right, your reasoning is sound, fine.
Your
but
reasoning
I
is
still
sound.
don't like
I'll
it.
allow it.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, I was like, the Lannisters were supposed to be out of this. You were a Lannister. Why are you,
You had
there?
one job: stay home.
Stay home. Do nothing.
Home.
The old do nothing option always in play. That's always an option.
So I'm gonna
Say-
go with mine really
say
quick because it's really quick hits. First of all, I give a clap, an applause to the visuals of the Tyrell army. They're looking badass. Coming marching in. Mace is still a twat, but the rest of the army looks fucking badass. When they drop those spears just ready to go and all in unison, it just fuck yeah. I give that credit. Mace, like I said, is still a twat. Seriously, when will people stop letting Tommen talk to adults? That's just
When will anybody talk to Tommen and say, "Hey, this is in the fucking works, bro. Like we got your back. Just let him in."
Just give your
He would've
credit
been,
card
"Oh,
number.
okay,
eh,
because he's coachable. He's so coachable. He
He's
as
coachable.
done
Luke,
it.
as Luke said about Danny, he needs help.
He needs a little help around
He
here.
needs guidance,
He's a
but
gentle
he needs
potato.
he needs to be able to talk to an
Potato
adult
king.
with not just one on one. You cannot let Tommen talk to one on one because like as somebody said in the chat, you show Tommen a magic trick, he'll bow down to you. You know, he's
Yeah.
just like
If anybody had
roll
just mentioned to him that this was kind of in the works, and then he saw Marjorie and was like, "Hey, girl, it's kind of in the works of this," Marjorie would be like, "Okay, cool, I'm down because Granny over here's got me." That would have been the new plan. But nobody mentioned it to to Tommen, obviously not Marjorie. So how can we be mad at Tommen? Not his fault, their fault. Their
He's
fault.
just such a potato.
He is. And they should know that.
Potato.
I'm just so sad for him because, like,
He's
could
a
have been
decent
so much
person.
more.
I
Yeah.
agree.
He's a decent potato.
He's a potato. Like,
He's a decent potato.
King
just
potato.
roll him in the right direction and he'll get the job done. Like, if
He's
you
a
think about-
pleaser. He
Yeah.
wants to please. Like he wants to be
make
good.
him happy. He wants to make the realm happy. He wants to do the right thing. Just roll him in the right direction.
Yep. Shit.
Like a tater tot.
He knows. Like a tater tot.
Hashtag.
Sorry.
I'm the worst.
Mr.
I'm
Potato
sorry.
Head.
That was
I'm
And we
ruining
got
this
bed
podcast.
sheets. Who invited that kid?
Who invited that kid?
Ben juice.
I went with
I'm
mine.
kind of joking right now, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Has everybody
I don't think I've said my thoughts.
Go for it.
But I've kind of incorporated some of them already, including the potato bit. But I was really glad that poor Marjorie didn't have to be naked.
I'm
though
going to
she-
come on the
Yeah.
other side like coin,
Yeah,
but
we're with you. We're so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah,
like
so
I mean,
disappointed.
like viewers probably would have been happy. I would have been happy to see Natalie Dormer because she's gorgeous naked. But you know, whatever. That's a sidebar. And Elena is still a badass despite her having been looking like a goddamn chicken with his feathers, which we've fully discussed. Jamie running up the stairs was huge for me with the horse because that is like a total Tywin moment. That's a Ned moment. That's like something that's recountable and something that we've seen before in the text and also in the show. Like Tywin when he walks straight into the chamber with Joffrey.
His horse
Abby, do you
takes a
remember
shit
that?
on the floor as it's walking up.
Does he? I don't
Oh, yeah.
remember
Drops a
that.
deuce, yeah.
Very
Oh,
first
that's
shot. Yep.
beautiful. I don't remember that. That's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. Tywin's like, yeah, Jamie's basically saying the same thing. Fuck you. Here's my horse. I'm coming up those stairs. Don't fuck with me, biznatch. And I thought that was really a beautiful echo. Like as far as the show goes. And then I also have in my notes that it was the hashtag height of style when Jamie did that. And damn it, Potato, why are you such a napkin? Me to Tommen.
He's such a
A
napkin.
napkin.
So he's just like a little wet napkin. Like he's completely useless. Because I asked you, what use do you have for a wet napkin? None. And that's Tommen. He's a potato and a wet napkin. I'm very
Well,
drunk. I'm
Potato
sorry.
napkin.
Everybody, yes, Luke.
Yeah, the horse ran up the stairs, really, really badass. When Jamie and Olenna kind of start realizing, fuck, we just got beat. Like their faces are awesome. Like, and then yeah, Mace Tyrell's
And
like,
Get it. He's like, what
what's
happened?
happening?
What's happening?
He's like,
Huh?
I
she's
don't-
like, you fucking oaf. He beat us. Like, pretty clearly, this isn't what we wanted to happen. Like, what the hell, man?
What's happening? I don't know, but it's happening.
Are my feathers straight?
From The
The
Happening. That movie. Ooh, check it out, I guess.
Well,
I
No.
guess.
or don't.
Or you're probably better off not. Was it Marky
5
Mark in that?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, whatever. I'm totally watching it now.
Mark Wahlberg.
And
My boys.
there was a good point in the chat a minute ago that if Jamie's the Kingsguard Lord Commander, how is he not noticing any of like the new armor, like
Right.
the new getup for the other Kingsguard? Like he's, I guess, a hands-off commander.
They didn't tell me that. I didn't get invited to the party.
Road.
Jamie did look really fierce though in that gold outfit with the
He-
majestical white cape.
He looked good.
Yeah.
He
Right
looked good.
there. There's a good shot.
Very handsome.
Golden hand and everything.
Didn't even notice it.
And
Alright.
there's everyone's favorite potato.
Oh,
So-
there's a potato boy.
Let's keep talking about this wet napkin potato and Jamie and Kevin.
Kevin McLannister.
Kevin McLannister.
Kevin McAllister. Tommen strips his uncle of his cloak and his oath. Oh well.
Can I go
Sorry.
first?
Anybody else? Yes, go for it.
Okay, Tommen, just feel it in the heart of the cards. You know that he's your dad. Like, just know it in the heart. You know it, Tommen. You're just
doesn't know it.
Like just a little potato man.
Nobody's told him yet. He doesn't
And
know it.
he has to know though. He has to feel it. His true dad is Jamie. He has to
His
feel it.
dad.
My son,
Cards.
Tater Tot.
Tater tot.
Odd.
You call me tater
You
salad.
caught the tater.
Caught the tater.
He's the tater tot.
I was watching that movie the first time I ever kissed my husband. Bam.
It's beautiful.
No, it's not. It's really redneck
Yes,
and
no,
country.
it's
But it's
beautiful.
cool. It works for me.
It's beautiful.
Was that Napoleon Dynamite?
You might be a redneck if that was
No,
the movie
blue-
you were
blue
watching.
collar.
Oh,
The Napoleon Dynamite wouldn't even be redneck. It would be like some kind of sub hipster level of redneck.
Yeah.
So you're
I also
completely
like
safe.
that movie.
I love that movie.
Tina, you fat lord.
Damn,
dinner.
Tina.
give me the rest of your
God.
tots.
Yeah, God, Bench. Tell me what you're thinking about.
You know, Jamie's like, I fucked your mom in that cloak just to whelp you, you little shit. You know, when he's saying, I've had this cloak before you were born, he was more saying,
When you were a sperm.
yeah, I banged your mom on that cloak. Okay, so fuck off.
Why? Why?
Oh, you know that's what he was thinking. He's like,
is that what he was thinking?
I guarantee it.
Your Kevin's a little
Guaranteed we're-
different than mine.
Oh man.
I
You know,
What?
I
Jay,
have
what you
watched
thinking?
this episode at least 4 times before this we did this tonight. And for some reason, I have been called out of the room, or I don't know, my fucking TV didn't want to work. And I got the whole like, hey, he's no longer part of the King's Guard, but it's kind of like shit before happens, and then all of a sudden Jamie is like stripping his stuff down and being like, fine, deuces. And then we get the Cersei scene later on. So what are you talking about, the advice or
Well, right here, basically, he tells, he's stripping it off because Tom is like, you're my family and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to go to the wall, but you're not going to serve the king if you're going to go against the faith.
Yeah.
And Jamie was basically saying, I've had this cloak longer than you were born. I've been serving,
Okay,
doing this
yeah.
and all that. And he does say that line, and that's where my joke line came from. But where he was kind of like, fuck you, dude. First of all, your brother was a shit. At least your sister had it in her heart to accept
Yeah, your sister was
who
a
I
sweet.
am.
Your sister was a sweet potato.
Yeah. You're just a fucking you're just a fucking hard boiled potato. God damn it.
She was a sweet potato.
Nice.
Just a regular potato. No one wants you.
She was quite the yam.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Your sister was a sweet potato, he says. As cool as a cucumber over there, Glenn, as always.
I'm crying.
That was good.
Right.
So that's where I
fogging
was
up my
going
glasses
with
here.
my note.
Oh, monkey.
Okay.
Oh man.
What do I have here for my note?
Luke, I think you got something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it kind of touching on some of what Benji was getting at. Jamie's kind of like trying to advise his son here, and
All right, go away.
I know Mallory kind of touched on that as well, and he's trying to like give some advice, but like can't just come out right and be like, "Hey, I'm your fucking dad. Like, I have your best interest at heart. Like, trust me on this one. I know you are kind of in cahoots with something that you don't quite understand right now, but we don't need to do this. Like this, am I going to walk through the streets naked? Like, let's
A naked night.
a naked night. Oh, call back to the former
Yeah.
Lord Commander.
That's what it reminded me of. Barrison, when Barrison was kind of
Yeah, it really does.
kicked off the team,
Yeah, let go. Put on free agency.
laid off.
Harrison was released of his duties.
You know, we're not going to fire you, but you're not going to work here anymore.
Well, they tend to fire people on Fridays because there's a less
Less chance of an
chance
incident.
of an incident.
It's true. It's true.
Watch
Sweet
out for
potato.
Fridays, especially at the end of 13.
I wanted to point out the part where Jamie says he's tearing us apart because it reminded me of the line from he's tearing me apart, Anakin.
Oh, Anakin. I was more thinking of The Room. That fucking debacle of a movie.
I know that movie.
Lursa, you're tearing me apart.
That's a great
The
film.
only reference I've gotten tonight is my own Frozen. So I want to point that out there.
You've done a great job, Abby.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're almost there, honey.
And
Shall we?
one last thing on Jamie talking to Tommen here, and it's towards the beginning of this little portion of the scene, and Tommen's like, you going against the faith, like that's not cool, man. Like you can't do that. And Jamie's like, you can do whatever you want when you're in that chair. You make the fucking rules. Like,
Just do it.
like don't be a little tater tot about this and make the decision
Yeah.
that I want.
Don't be a little potato bitch, you goddamn potato bitch. Own
Made
up.
a
Don't be so
salad.
buttery, bitch.
You don't get sour cream and butter this time. The potato is
with
plain.
bacon bits.
Also, I wanted to point out at the end of the scene.
Let's hash this out.
I saw your
Go for it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Abby, you've noted we're the only two people in the world.
Oh, hold on. We're not there yet. Not
Oh,
quite.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We can totally talk about that
Let's go
as
there. Go there
the
now.
the fallout from this little,
Fallout through the
thing going on. We got Jamie and Cersei talking about the wet potato, but
You wet potato.
but-
The wet
potato.
potato.
Wet
Tommen
potato.
is a wet potato.
So Jamie is being sent to take back River Run, and Cersei talks him
Wet
down from
sand.
his madness. We'll talk about them being the only two towards the end because other things happen, I guess, before that. Glenn,
Yeah.
I didn't
What?
for it. I You say your thing. I didn't know this is how old he was. I'm so
Oh, yeah. We learn here that Walder Frey is exactly 400 years old.
That was
So,
mentioned.
right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So he's Melisandre's kid brother.
Maybe.
Ah,
Probably.
Perfectly.
Can't confirm.
perfectly acceptable.
probably her son. Benj.
Now there's a switch. Cersei cautioning restraint. I guess she's only been through one bottle of wine tonight.
You know, it happens.
Yeah, she's usually the fire and blood one of the duo.
She still seems pretty damn confident in the Lannisters' strength overall. Like, she's like, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a delayed gratification on this situation, and we're going to get them back. Like, don't worry. I don't know, it just seems pretty confident that things are inevitably going to swing back their way.
So my note on here is her quote of "We're the only two people in the world," and then it's okay.
That is fundamentally wrong.
Well, yes,
It's a
technically you're wrong.
callback
Sorry.
to when the
Sorry.
rape scene when he raped her in at Joffrey's.
I just don't see it like that because we have Jamie freaking out like he took our son, blah blah blah, our son, and then all of a sudden she's like cool, calm, collected, which is very, like you pointed out, un-Cersei like, and she's like, we're the only two people in the world. I kind of just wasn't expecting it. That line, or her calmness, something in that to me is just super calculating, I guess I'll call it for now. And Sandrixine, I'll let you go because either we'll talk about it here, I'll talk about it in my predictions.
Which one are we at? I'm sorry.
We're talking about Jamie and Cersei and her telling him that he's the only person in the world.
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever note you have for that.
I have a mention here. They'd have no idea how strong we are. And then they like make out. And I'm like, why is this happening? Because like, I thought the whole sex on Joffrey's dead body scene was completely unnecessary.
There's the poop.
And really like, just like, why is this happening? Because I don't remember that from the books. And like, I'm drunk right now. So if I'm wrong, please correct me and tell me that this happened so I can justify it in my head. But it really upsets me because I'm like, like, Jamie, you could be such a good man. Cersei, you could be such a good person. But they both, especially Cersei, I would say, is more guilty of being like an enabler of this relationship that they have, which is obviously so toxic and so like not good for either one of them. And she just is like, we're the only two people in the world.
Yes.
Shut up, you bloody cunt.
She's so manipulative. And Jamie sans Cersei, he would be probably my favorite character. She is what holds that back for me because I feel like he has a decent morality or a decent way of dealing with people, but she is that like crux in him that makes him not even unlikable because I still like Jamie. I still like him, but holds me back from being like, yeah, he's cool. We're cool. We're buddies.
Would you say there's
I'm
something holding the door?
It's just like the puppet master.
too soon, Luke.
Right?
Yeah, she's just, and
She's
she
like,
could be a good person. They both could be, but like she works hard to not be. Hold the door. Oh my god, you guys make me bawl on set. It's only been one episode, folks. It's still fresh and real.
really? Was
Mhm.
Hold the Door the last episode?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's an open wound for Abby.
And that was
traumatic.
the one with Alan, right? My husband.
No,
That was
he
the week
was on
before for burn
the
the
calls.
calls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Burn everybody on call.
It's been a long couple weeks for Miss Sanrixian. Let me tell you what.
I hear. All right, should we go to Bravos?
Let's do it.
Well, I'm gonna ask the poop over there. Poopy. That's a yes.
I totally forgot that was over there. So I painted the camera over. It's fucking
Okay.
killing me.
I have to pee or I'm gonna die.
Go for
You
it.
have
Go
to
for
make
it.
water. It's
Go
okay.
make water.
You will
I'll be
pee
right
or
back.
you will die.
I've got to make
In the ga-
water.
In the Game of Thrones, you
As
pee or
Arya
you
says.
die.
Pee or you poop or you die.
Oh
You
my
number one,
lord.
you number two, or you emoji.
So yeah, we do have a poop with a smile on camera, and I think poop with a smile is just a great life
It was-
motto.
It was one of my Christmas presents.
That's really
Could be a
thoughtful
good
gift.
album title. Poop with a smile. I think it's got some work there.
Poop with a smile.
Poop with a smile.
Poop with a potato.
Let's go to Bravos. So it doesn't really make any sense, but we're just going. Segue. Arya. Oh, really? Bobo no.
Bobono.
Bono.
Bono.
Okay.
Bono.
It's just Bono from U2.
I don't know. Okay.
He is a number 2.
Camilla.
Big deuce.
The 14 KT Critics.
Is it Camilla?
Camilla, yeah.
Lady Crane, theater troupe,
Coupe.
Jockin, and Waif. Mercy enjoys the end of the play and gives advice and a warning to her target. Arya retrieves Needle and the waif gets her way. So right here, actually, we have this screen cap up. I'm gonna go with this. I'm not sure if this is the exact same set. It very possibly could be, and I just wasn't paying attention to it last time. I really like the way it's split here. If you look right in the middle of the screen cap, we have the Lannister side and the Baratheon side. I just didn't catch it last time, and with the musicians up above in the balconies, I thought it was. I mean, for what I'm guessing is a traveling musician or play actors, pretty nice set.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I-
Good job.
yeah,
guys.
Like, great job. I thought it was very nice. Other than that, Luke.
Real quick, Benji, who was Camilla?
Camilla is the it was a name that was said. Camilla, Bonobo, Lady Crane. So I just
thought it was
typed in.
It's
I
It's
assumed it was
Bianca. It's Bianca.
in the caps it said Camilla.
Maybe there was another one. Maybe that was a different girl,
Bian-
but Bianca's the one that
Bianca's
plays Sansa.
Maybe the
Okay,
who's
that's
the lady
fine.
that
I was
plays-
going off the caps.
Yeah,
like,
I
off
just
the
was like, I didn't
captions.
catch that one.
the lady that plays.
No, that's fair
Marjorie, maybe.
because I
Oh,
didn't
that
catch all
could
the
be.
names, but
It could be the one that plays
Yeah,
Marjorie's
this,
character.
This girl here.
that could be. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So,
I was just curious.
That's all.
But
Yep.
kind of throughout this scene, there's again kind of a long cut scene for Bravos, and I thought it was kind of cool how Arya talks to Lady Crane about what Cersei would be doing because she literally has like firsthand experience with Cersei, and she's like, "Yeah, I mean, you're great, no doubt about that. I think you're phenomenal at what you got going on. I don't think what the character is doing makes a whole lot of sense, but that's okay." Like she's like, she wouldn't just be sad. That's her kid that she loves, dearly. She would be mad, like she'd be pissed off, and she's literally speaking from first-hand experience with Cersei.
Exactly. So yeah, because she's out with Wolf and everything, and that's what she does. That's what she did. I did like how Arya is the only one that laughs at during Joffrey's death scene. She just gives a good chuckle, and then we find out that she's seen this play now 4 times, and she still laughs every time, which just makes it that much better because she's like, "I know it's coming. This is gonna be fun." It's just, but she has to know now. I'll kind of jump to the end of the scene that she's fucked. Grabbing, deciding, to end Mercy and no one and going back to being Arya. She has to know she's fucked with the choice she made. Not saying it was the wrong choice, just
I mean, I would say that's pretty fair that she knows she's not safe after doing that for sure. She literally grabs her sword, old needle, and goes and turns the lights off and like just hangs out with it on her lap, like basically in the ready position. And
just in case.
yeah, I'd say she's aware that
Gotta be safe out there.
Keep
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yep.
Go ahead, Glenn, with your thoughts since Abby
Took
a hiatus
is
for a
MIA.
second.
Arya, you see her sabotaging the rum drink, and then like
The rum
quickly
drink.
develops a classic actress and person watching the play relationship. You've heard about that.
Oh, yeah.
Just your classic actress person watching the play relationship forming in about 30 seconds. But then she sabotages her death via knocking over the rum drink, and it's just one of those, like, she's trying to do her job, but it's like, please don't talk to me, because now I'm gonna feel bad about poisoning your drink, and
Rum drink.
the rum drink.
Maybe get you a rum drink. Maybe get some Cheetos.
Rum ham.
Rum ham.
Rum
Rum
ham.
ham.
Or why is
Some
the
milk
rum
steak.
Milk steak, yeah.
Milk steak, yes, and cheese.
All right,
And
Sammy, go with your
sausage
thoughts.
We are talking about Arya.
Bravos, yeah.
scene, yes. This is like Arya-ception. Was my overall thought. Because she is watching the events of her life that her sister lived, that she may or may not have known at this point. Like, she's just like watching it happen, and she's so glad Joffrey dies, and we all love that. And Sansa looks like a cosplayer of Sansa I saw at Con of Thrones, which is weird.
Sonception.
And I'm so glad. Yeah, Sonception. So we have Aryaception and Sonception. And then I'm so glad they got Tywin's dying scene 100% canonically correct. He shits himself to death.
Yep.
And shitter was full, but it wasn't full of gold.
It is full. Merry Christmas.
You guys know that because you grew up in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick, you said there's a lady being a cosplayer of Sansa. Are you sure she wasn't trying to be a cosplayer of the person
I
playing
don't know.
Sansa?
Of Bianca.
could be.
Of
being
Bianca?
Sansa?
Yeah.
Could have been.
No, I'm cosplaying
Edit.
Bianca.
I'm actually Bianca playing Sansa. Okay, that's good.
That's crazy, and
I know what I'm going for
Submit
at
to.
Ice and FireCon now. Gonna be Bianca.
Babono.
I was gonna go
Love that.
Babano.
Babono.
Lady Crane.
Babono.
Abby, you can be Tywin. Fake Tywin.
Yes.
That's
Fake
right.
I
time.
am-
You got, we,
You have to
that
be-
Can I
has
be
to be like
Tywin's wife?
theater troupe.
No. You don't want to be Tywin's wife.
Yes, I do. I do.
Joanna Lannister? You
Glenn-
wanna be
Glenn's
Joanna
Ned.
Lannister?
No,
Ned
of Ice and
farts.
Fire Con, definitely costuming is what I might be most excited about. So you'll have to be there or be square.
I'm there. And I'm
I
gonna
know.
be
She's there.
You'll get-
She actually lives there full time, Ab.
She's camping out
She
there
lives at Ice and
until-
FireCon.
She does. Yes. You're Arya at Ice and Fire?
That's what I'm planning on. Arya,
Yeah,
maybe a
she's-
Dany. Probably a
We'll see.
Diana. We'll see.
I'm going as I don't know. We'll see.
No one.
So
In the works.
So
I'm
the
going
end,
as
the
no
end
one.
of this scene kind of stops with Arya knocking the rum drink on the canonical rum drink on the ground, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like,
Sure.
"Careful of that one. She wants you dead."
She's a bitch.
And just like mic drop, walks the fuck out. It's just like that's pretty badass. Like walking in and
My-
causing a little bit of a commotion. Like that's a pretty abrupt, aggressive thing to do. Like just walk in and knock the glass out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, she's
And
just
To
trying-
your
She's
point,
just trying to tie one on.
right.
That's all she's trying to do.
I just thought in watching this, I was like, well, this is an interesting turn of events. Okay. We shall see.
Yeah, girl.
We
Yeah.
shall see.
Yeah.
My
So at the end of the
favorite-
scene, though, we get
With Wade.
Arya grab a needle, and then
Mhm.
the waif going to Jaqen, who's doing his procedures.
Being the waif. Ugh,
Yeah,
so
being the-
annoying.
Waifinator, engage.
I hate the wave so much at this point. I'm just like, get her off my screen.
I do not
What
like her
a
either.
Bitch.
She's just annoying.
Biatch.
Annoying
She's so petty.
She's so
What?
wafy.
bob cut bitch.
Well, yeah, that's funny. I also think it's like almost like girl on girl hate. Like, ooh, this girl
Right?
jumped in here and she's kind of like trying to take my spot, so I'm gonna like cut her down a little bit. Where I feel like Jockin's like, here, we're gonna
Isn't
like
that what
test you out or whatever, and Waif feels like she's intruding
Ugh.
on her own self worth. Which, bitch, no, Arya isn't about you. You are about you. Arya's about Arya. Like,
Female individuals.
it just drives me crazy in life. That drives me crazy. And in the show, there have maybe been other places where there's been like girl and girl hate, but right here, and I feel like I really do not understand what's going on in this place, what they're about, what their motives are, who's calling the actual shots. But Waif to Arya feels so like that girl on girl hate. That's just ridiculous. Like,
I completely agree.
I think that's why I hate her even more.
I
get-
completely agree.
I'm like, that chick who ain't got time for that. I
Lord,
don't like.
Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
Lord Jesus. Thought somebody was barbecuing.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yep.
The way I have so many problems with her in the show.
You bob cut bitch.
I think you completely cut to the central issue. A bob cut, and that's not even the right word, I don't think anymore, because that's how drunk I think I am. And number two,
It's a close resemblance.
exactly what you said, Abby. Like, she's just like that girl and girl hate. That's completely unnecessary.
Because at least to the viewer who I've only seen this, there doesn't seem to be other motives around it. Like, I guess we could call Cersei and Marjorie not supporting each other girl and girl hate, but there's actual other things at play. Like, there are.
It's more politicking.
Exactly. It's not just, oh, she showed up and she might take my spot.
She showed
Is
up
how I
in
f-
my she shed, and that's not cool.
By the she shore.
By the
Cheryl.
she shore.
Cheryl, get on my shed.
Cheryl, is my she shed covered? It's gonna be she shear. Anybody seen that commercial?
She-shear,
But
yeah.
I think insurance as a not company, but job has the best marketing out there. Hilarious.
They have lots and lots of money that doesn't get used for anything else.
It could be
Especially like
human.
my house. They don't want to put it into my house, but that's cool. Let's talk about Ice and Fire Con for real, folks. It is in Mount Sterling, Ohio. It's the last weekend in April. If you want to go, we want you there. We will be there. We'll drink with you. We'll buy you one. You buy us two. So you can use.
It's like this was scripted. That was great.
You buy us
Actually,
one.
yeah, that was
You
really
buy
good.
us two.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
You buy us
Please
one.
Ice
use-
and fire, God.
We'll buy you a drink and you'll get two too.
For us.
You need to use the promo code DRINKS at checkout for a nice little discount, and we would love seeing you there.
And if you typo
Seriously.
and you use drunk promo code, that's cool too, because that goes to our good friend Chloe. So that's cool. Either one.
If it
You know what's
autocorrects to
very
drunk.
funny about that? Is the last time I talked to Chloe, I was so drunk, I had to ask you who she was because I liked her so well, but I was so drunk I couldn't remember.
Well, she'll be back for this season finale, so
Yes.
you'll be able to
I can't wait.
rekindle.
I'm gonna have to hold my.
Hold back.
Hold-
Chloe,
hold
look her
your
better.
Hold in the
emotional-
reins, you
hold
know.
your
Yeah,
emotional
Chloe
door.
does.
You know, Chloe, if you're listening tonight, the fact that you kept saying
Where-
you're doing
wherever-
good, Abby,
Wherever you are in the world, Chloe.
wherever you are, Delilah, you kept, you're doing good. You're doing good, Abby. I was just like, yeah, I am. So let's go to the twins. The twins. We have Walder, his phrase, and their
Twins
honored
special.
guest,
Twins.
Lord
Lauren Filch.
Filch. Yeah, Fletchley. Is pissed. His
Idiotic.
wow. Oh, I'm just gonna read this like what happens in my head here.
Sound it out.
So we have Filch pissed off at his stupid sons because they lost a castle that's not a fucking sheep. And he shows them the exact way to get it. Boom. Bench.
You didn't lose River Run. You let the Blackfish take it from you. Ha, ha. You gotta love semantics. You really do. I mean, yes, did they were it was taken from them. They didn't lose their fucking thing. I do like this side of Frey. I don't like Frey himself. I like the side of Frey. But before he was just a dick because he was a dick. He's a dick because he's showing his true nature for being mocked. He hates fucking being
Look what
mocked
happened to
and
the
being
poop.
laughed at and being looked down on as the late Lord Frey and all this, and people don't respect him. So you could see his disdain and everything for everybody else that's not him or his family. So I like this side, like seeing this side of Filch, because this is something we'd never seen before, books or show.
You keep
I
calling him Filch. Like
I know it's Frey, but I call him Filch because he played Argus Filch,
The
and
Filgafish.
that's just
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yep.
yep.
yeah. So he's the late Lord
Okay.
Filch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
David Bradley.
Yes.
I'm gonna spoil things for later, Benj.
Go ahead.
Minus Luke's point coming up here shortly. You'll hear about more of that later.
More on that later.
I think this is my favorite part of the entire episode. It really is, because he is so funny. You lost it? It's a castle, not a bloody sheep. Like, and he's like, no, you're going to take it back. Oh, we don't have enough. Blah, 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 blah. You're gonna take it. He's just, the way he delivers it, he's just so funny and perfect. Other than Luke, go ahead.
That poor girl. Like,
That
just
is why-
consistently, like, oh man. He smacks her ass. And he's like, if I wanted excuses, I'd have her answer these questions. Like, and then like the scene kind of continues on, and he like forces her onto his lap, and she's just like, just
Oh dear.
curling
Lord.
up in an emotional ball.
Yeah.
Go to my safe
Like-
place. Get to my safe place.
She got really
It had-
filched in this deal.
Had it not been for his daughters slash wives' terribleness of the phrase, I could really like Walter Frey, because I do find him kind of funny. Like,
Funny old man.
minus, the horrible, terrible things he has done in the past. Terrible.
That's
Glenn
terrible.
Dog. Terrible.
Whoops. So this here is one of your simple scenes, kind of run of the mill simple scenes where they give the audience clues of what's happening, especially
Blue's
like
Clues?
Blue's Clues in the Riverlands, but they don't actually show anything really, except for Walter Frey talking to these two jackknobs or whatever. Because like
Chode smokers.
chode smokers, yeah, thank you. Instead of showing River Run with the Blackfish, they mentioned the Brotherhood without banners. They just have
Just
them
like dropping references.
yeah, dropping bombs.
Like, hey, we haven't forgotten about this. We're just not going to show you.
And, all the while probably teeing up, what's to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely like a, hey, let's sit and chat kind of
Right.
scene. There are things happening. Budget isn't going to budget in time. We're not doing that. Let's just have
River
Walter
Run
Frey kind of
is the magic word.
right.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse, whatever, they mentioned River Run. And yeah.
Walter Exposition Frey, as he's known in the at Twins.
Sanrixian, delight us with your thoughts.
Walter Frey is disgusting. And he
Yes.
grosses me out. He's the worst, and Jamie agrees with me, so therefore my point is valid.
And he's 400 years old.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
give a fuck.
400.
He's a fat, gross toad, okay? He's a nasty, nasty, evil man, and I hate him. I actually have in my notes here that he might possibly be worse than Randall Tarley, and I think Randall Tarley is dirt, so I think lower of Walter Frey than I think of Randall Tarley.
Is Frey worse than Craster?
Oh man.
I mean, we're
Do you
just
think you
really
hold on?
lining up
Wait.
the
Do you
best-
think
best
you're
fathers
grading?
and-
This is
Dickhead
like a
dad.
philosophical
Dickhead
question
dad.
here.
Okay.
Do you think that, so we have Craster, Randall Tarley, and Frey,
Walter
right?
Frey, yep.
Mm-hmm.
The people directly involved, like related that you like towards them, I think, in my opinion, play more importance on deciding who's the worst
Okay.
than necessarily the person themselves and what their actual actions are. So, like, I love Sam, so Tarley seems so terrible.
Right.
And for me, the phrase, we have the Red Wedding, which was
Yep.
terrible. So I feel like it's more about a vote of who wronged the person I like more in my
Oh, I-
voting scale, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get it. So it depends on if you like John or Sam the best. As far as whether you think Walter Frey or Craster is worse in that sense, I guess. Am I following you correctly? Or am
Yeah,
I too
you
drunk?
are.
Okay.
Like that's exact. I'm just trying to decide who I actually think is the
I
worst.
honestly think like Craster is worse if we want to break it down into just semantics because he literally rapes his daughters. And that
And-
just you can't forgive that. No matter where you stand, you can't forgive that. Like that kind of incest is not okay. And poor Gilly has to suffer this entire lifestyle because of what Craster did to her.
and
And-
sacrifices all the boys,
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah, all the
Like-
males are sacrificed to the others, and all the females are basically like a handmaid's tale. Like they are
Slaved.
birth slaves, and that
Mm.
is the worst thing a woman could ever go through. Please don't let this happen to us. Hashtag 2019.
Agreed.
Me. You
Agreed.
understand.
I don't know who's worse. I mean, I think Craster would have to win.
I mean,
Craster's
they're both
absolutely
terrible.
worse.
But who do I
Just-
hate more? It
The
would be
Red Wedding is kind of a game changer too.
Yeah, but-
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that one,
but-
you're just killing people. You're killing the people you felt wronged you. Craster is legit, as Sinrixian said, raping his daughters.
Mhm.
There's
so is Frey though.
no. Frey's just
No.
finding young wives.
these are just young wives.
He just is a creep.
I thought it was
Yeah.
his daughter.
don't
No,
know.
that's not his
Nope.
daughter. Nope.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm
And-
sorry. I
and
was confused.
Craster is a wildling.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
means he's worse.
Technically, he's also.
Yeah, I
Targaryen,
mean
like-
because we follow Westerosi normals, that means the wildlings are pieces of shit.
Whatever. I live
True story.
beyond the
True
wall.
story.
I live north of the wall, so that doesn't factor into my account. But
Oh,
you know,
Ew.
just saying.
But good
then
discussion.
we don't like you
Good-
anymore.
Definitely
Yeah.
a good discussion.
So, are we done with the twins?
I think so.
All right. So we're going to. Is this our final scene?
I
didn't
think
get
it's
Good
our
one.
Man, I didn't even get a little warning right here.
We
So,
made it.
final scene. Boom.
Ding dong.
Cans don't clink
Here.
very well.
Chink, dink.
The clink.
Clink.
Chink.
Fast Dothrak. We have Daenerys, the Dothraki, Dario, and Drogo. Danny finds a new mount and names a few new blood riders. A few new, a lot new.
And a typo in
Um,
there for you. Not Drogo, it's Drogon.
Drogon. That's okay.
I'm
That's,
sorry. That's
So
No,
just
you're
making it clear
good.
that Khal Drogo didn't show up in this scene at all.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Drogon.
He was
My bad.
busy with Aquaman.
Khal Drogo's Ghost Dojo.
Ghost Dojo, baby.
Ghost Dojo.
You all
Dojo.
saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Good.
Let's start off with talking about. I'm gonna start here because I feel like.
Real quick, sorry, we didn't even touch on Edmure Tully's back, Abby's favorite.
Oh
it's
yeah.
like- so they bring out that basically, hey, you're gonna go solve this problem at River Run, and you're gonna take Edmure Tully with you. I just wanted to mention that happened.
You're right. You're right. I'm glad you did because later on that's going to be important. However, who cares? Not me. Not the blackfish.
Fuck 'em.
Not me or the blackfish. That's all I'm going to say about that. Prediction number one.
Prediction
Blackfish
number
don't
one.
give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck about who.
No. Yeah. No. And you're whatever.
Meow.
So,
Meow. Meow. Meow.
so my
We thought
question
in a general
about
direction.
this scene here is how likely does the queen go anywhere unattended ever? Let me just walk around this rock that looks,
Like
pretty.
not even Missandei going with her.
Wait here.
No.
She's the mother of dragons, honey.
Oh, well, I get it. I get she gets to do what she wants, but in all actuality, who just sits there when she's like, hold up, give me a moment to walk around where you can't see me, where this little like whirly dust. No, she's
Whirly-
had somebody
whirly
with her.
dervish.
I just,
She
I
might be
And
going
even,
to take a
even
pee.
Dario's like, bitch, you've been here for a while. You've been gone for a minute. Where the
Yeah,
fuck
he
you at?
probably called her bitch in his head.
You know what I'm saying.
Bitch.
yeah, I
Where
just,
you be, bitch?
Where you be at, girl? I've been looking for you.
I just don't think a queen goes anywhere without
Unattended.
unattended. Like,
she is Daenerys Targaryen.
She is the unburnt.
What
Ab, come
kind of
on.
queen
Come
is
on.
she?
I
The
get
kind
it.
of queen that has
I'm
not
a
been
huge fan of
seen.
her. I think
I
she
know,
is
I love
great
her.
and wonderful. But I just question here. Let me walk around this ominous rock by myself. Okay,
What do you,
sure.
when you saw the little whirly bits, what did it make you think in your mind?
in my mind.
What is that? What is she seeing?
Well, see, I assumed that there was going to be a dragon just because I'm
We're
a
not- we're not
watcher.
in Kansas anymore.
Dragons, baby.
But she has all these people there who are like sworn to protect her or
right.
want to, and you think they're not going to be. Let me walk back there. No, don't go by yourself.
No,
Yeah,
don't
come on.
watch me.
She's got to have some
She's gotta
privacy.
approach your
Come
dragon.
on.
She don't have no privacy. Haven't you ever seen kings getting dressed? Come on. There's a whole audience. It's a whole fucking
With
thing.
like a breastplate stretcher and stuff like that.
Go get the
Breastplate
breastplate
stretchers.
How long do you think
know.
it'll take him?
Yes.
13th
Sorry.
century
I
French
mean,
kings.
and
my
a dumb
only
whore with a fat ass.
other note on this is at the end. Look, I even put his name in here right just to let you all know that I do.
You
maybe
do
know what I'm talking
know
about.
you can read.
Some things. No, not read. I wrote that in there.
You can
Drogon's.
write then.
Yeah, not
To be
really
clear.
well, but whatever. Drogon's mouth looks cool. His little, I would imagine they're little like fire holes.
His
I call them
fire
propane
holes.
holes because you get the
Propane.
that's my second half of my note because in the back is the pilot light, on the sides of the propane. So
Propane.
And propane accessories.
Yeah, these are the
Accessories.
propane accessories that we're seeing.
My
yeah, very
brother.
last shot, Luke, is what we're talking
Propane.
about.
Yeah, that was all, and I do like the pilot light. That's always how I've kind of thought when we were talking about the anatomy of a dragon and how they actually work.
Hank Hill
Um,
put those on Drogon.
you know, I do feel like there would be like a, and then it.
I think
But-
about dragon anatomy a lot as an artist and someone who like is weird and thinks about dragon anatomy. And they would definitely have to have something that would spout fuel and an igniter to be able to spout
Gonna
flame.
need braces, I think.
So I
Ooh, wow,
support the theory of propane and propane accessories being lined up through their throats. And those little jowl bits are definitely like fuel or some kind of fluid that they're igniting when they go and
Yeah.
Let
'Cause we
me.
saw a couple
I don't want
episodes
to.
ago with Rhaegal and Viserion when they're in the dark, they open their mouths and you
Mhm.
see the pilot
You
light.
see it.
Yeah. Well, you see the fire in the back of the throat.
Oh yeah,
uh,
right here.
Yeah,
back
and,
here.
and so they can control. That's always going when they want. They can just spit out the propane out the sides, and
They
take
can
go.
just spit the propane right out
You
them
know,
sides.
maybe that's what
for
Slipknot was
I-
singing about with
access.
the song called "Spit It Out." You know, maybe not. I
Want
don't
to
know.
take a quick pause here only because I want to make sure to everybody else Sanrixian's point was clear and everybody kind of got warbled on my end over here.
Warbled.
Warbler.
Thank you, darling.
But did it sound good to everybody else? It's probably just my internet.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay, cool. And with that nice interruption, I don't know if she's done or if somebody else needs to go. So
I would
somebody
like to
do my
add a
job.
little bit.
Go for it.
Well, with the very first time I saw this, I remember texting my boyfriend like, "Yes, queen, yes," because this was like the best scene, and it's completely not alluded to in the credits whatsoever or the show description. So I was like, "Where did this come from?" And it was such a surprise. How did that make you feel when you saw it, like not having any warning? That's what I'm interested in.
Well, me specifically, I don't ever. I mean, I don't get like the commercials leading up to or whatever because I'm years
Mhm.
behind, or maybe just a couple years behind now. But
Yeah, we actually recorded all of the commercials ahead of time, and Abby's been just like fitting them into her normal daily watching
Yeah.
of other things, just to
Cool.
get the feel for.
so, and I specifically after the first season, I read
VHS.
like a episode description, and it was literally every single thing that happened in the episode. So I don't read those either because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's ridiculous. So as far as like it coming out of left field to me, it didn't necessarily feel like, oh, this is crazy and unheard of, but I definitely thought it was awesome
It was so powerful.
that like
It was just so powerful to me. Her sitting on top of Drogon, like finally like being a dragon rider, finally fulfilling her destiny, sitting there and telling like speaking in Dothraki to her people. It was just so powerful. And she was like, "Blood of my blood, will you stand beside me and fight?" And I was like, "Fucking Danny, yeah, get it, girl."
I think it's
So psyched.
really awesome that you talk about Danny saying, blood of my blood, or my people, which
Mhm.
I'm not disputing that at all, because I feel like Danny has always possessed this ability to really embrace who she's with and their needs. So the fact that she's gaining more power, more support here is only something that I can get behind. Like, she's she's number half. I have two number ones, I guess. So she's definitely somebody I'm happy she's
Well,
getting the support she deserves, in my opinion.
if you think
So
about it, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just kind of going to jump in with my notes really quick. With it, first of all, I'm convinced she's a witch just using Sonorous, because over the sounds of the dragon and the whole horde, everybody hears her. Come on, we're back to that statement again. But it was a powerful speech.
You don't realize
awesome
how
way-
well she projects from her diaphragm.
I
She's just got a voice that
Sir.
carries.
but hearing over the dragons, over the horde, okay,
Sorry.
fine. But
You can be pretty loud.
it's an awesome visuals with everything, and but you would think that maybe she might have given this speech before the horde started following her. She just randomly picks this cavern where she, is like, oh wait, I can go get my dragon. Now I'm gonna give this speech to have everybody follow me.
Why
You
do
would
you
think
think
maybe
it's
after she
random?
came out the fire, she could have done
Something
this.
about timing. There's
Why do you think it's
sometimes
random?
Yeah, it's just a
It could
random
just
kind
be
of.
that
It's
it
not
happened
random
to
at
be
all.
that moment that she found Drogon.
This is like
that
literally.
was-
It's one thing. Yeah. Sorry, Mallory. Go for it, Mallory.
I don't know. I was just like, if you think it's random, I understand that, but because this could just be the moment that was portrayed where she found Drogon.
Mhm.
Like, and it just happened to be the moment she found Drogon. And this is what she decided to do when she found him. Like, it gave her the spirit and emboldened her to say what was truly in her heart and to truly, like, project onto her people. Like, I know that I need you and I need you to do this thing. And here's this thing I need you to do. And I'm going to be, like, super aggressive and badass about it.
Yeah, so there are a few blanks that we need to fill in kind of as we're watching it, because we didn't see really the aftermath of after she walks out of the call tent, being unburnt
all-
again. Clearly, they're all following her already. Like
They
they're
bowed.
here. Yeah, like they're on the team.
They're
They-
already ready already.
This is
Okay.
they're already ready already.
kind of like pre-made toast.
Yeah, and so it's
Coconut
just,
It's
they're
a
lot
just
like
reaffirming
pre-made
what you're
toast.
doing, but it's like, yeah, they're already following you. I mean,
No, so I guess the point that I'm getting to is, yes, right now they're following her to Marine. They're getting her back to Marine. And then this is the point where Drogon shows up to help out, and she realizes that and goes and gets on Drogon's back. And she's like, you know what? Let's make this even a bigger thing, because it's one thing to say you're the mother of dragons until you actually fucking see a dragon and her being a dragon rider. That's a game fucking changer right
I
there.
I
And
think it's
so
the timing.
in that point, all of these are horse lords, right? I mean, this is a horse people, and they're seeing her ride the biggest motherfucking baddest ass beast that they've ever fucking seen.
In the world.
Right now, yes, absolutely.
The
This is the most
world.
impressive beast in the world. It's a fantastic beast, if you want to be
on
specific
planet-
about
where
it.
can you
Which
find
I
him?
thought was a fantastic movie. Crimes of Grindelwald.
It's
Sorry,
the
that was
best.
a debate
It's
we had
the
earlier.
best Harry Potter Wizarding World movie there is. So,
The first 10 minutes, mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
spoiler.
spoiler, yeah. I mean,
gonna be
her head
blown.
blew up, and you're gonna be blown.
Sorry.
You're gonna be
First
blown.
10 minutes,
Dude.
you're gonna be blown.
You're gonna be blown.
The
be
problems
blown.
or the answers or that you're giving for this scene, none of this in me was even questioned. Like, I never thought like, oh well, why is this speech like happening or whatever. I saw it very much as like, so we have the burning of the calls, everybody bows to her, and we're gonna go back to Marine because obviously this chick's, I mean, she's legit. So she's on fire. So
He is
or
not
not.
inflammable.
Yes.
This
So
chick is on fire.
so like in my mind I just imagined them following her, and in this moment, she has her dragon back, and I keep saying like, oh, it's about timing as like a joke, but really I feel like Drogon's presence is the right timing. She sees that, and she sees this army, this horde behind her that can get her what she wants and what she feels like is rightfully hers, which I think I think her motives will change later on. I don't think she's going to care about necessarily the crown or the Iron Throne. I think she truly is good in this world and she wants to help the realms of men or whatever. So I totally support Dany. I just feel like the presence of Drogon gives her the kind of courage to stand up and be like, look, we are going across the sea. I am going to rally my troops here in this fantastical moment that you guys are all. You have to be inspired by seeing a fucking dragon that apparently doesn't exist. Like, I'm the real deal. And right now is her moment to be like, you are getting on these ships and we are taking this shit over. And everybody's like, aye, aye, Captain. Because there's no other response.
You do it.
Okay.
That bitch is on a
okay.
dragon.
Yeah. Like,
We're going anywhere.
On a dragon.
never been on a boat before. Gonna be on a boat tomorrow. Fine.
I'm on a boat, motherfucker. Don't you ever forget.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd been on a boat.
It's a big blue watery
be
road.
on a dragon.
Iron is hers.
Nautical themed asteroid.
Nautical theme, Peshmina Afghan.
So real quick, I think lost in the fray here. You have
In the fray or in the Walter fray?
just the regular fray,
Okay, classic
Okay.
fray.
your classic fray. She leaves on a horse. She mounts a new mount as the dragon. But what about the horse? Was the horse sent back to the stables, or is it just in the middle of nowhere now?
Okay, I gotta
Feel bad
admit,
for the-
at this
for the
point,
horse.
I'm confused. Is this her original silver, or is this her new mount? Since the silver has passed, or do we not even cover that in the book in the show? Sorry.
I don't think it's really mentioned. It's just a random horse.
Oh, is this silver? Is that
Her silver that called.
Sorry,
Drogo
goddamn it, I'm
silver.
muted. Yes, original Silver died in the Red Waste, show wise
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so this is
Mhm.
just a white horse that she's on.
Then the horse
That
don't
gets
matter.
left behind.
No, either way, a horse. It maybe they just like trail right behind another one. They put some extra gear on it. I don't know.
They put the ghost.
Glenn,
of the
she just has to whistle and the horse will keep following forever.
Well, unless it's out of range, she has to bond with the horse.
It has had the good bond. You're right.
Now
Oh
I'm
my
worried
God.
about the fucking horse. Where's
The horse
Nymeria?
is fine. The
Where's
horse is
fucking
fine.
Nymeria?
So-
Where's so and
The
so?
horse
Yeah.
was lunch.
Abby, you
Drogon was
still
a
need
little
your.
hungry.
We need to update your list of where are they now.
Where are they now?
Because you got Benjen off that list
The
now.
horse.
Vengeance attacked. Braun was on it for a while, but not to worry. He came back singing strong, so he was good. Happy to hear that.
Singing strong.
Yeah, sorry, I did that one just for you, Lukey.
Thanks. Hey, let's have him sing
Alright.
again.
Yes, let's have him sing. He's a good singer. So are we ready for the episode title Accuracy?
Mhm.
Accuracy?
Acker. What's the accuracy?
Accuracy.
Oh, diction. It's a thing. Blood of my blood.
Sure, that's
Yeah.
the big part of the last triumphant speech.
I was thinking about this because as we were bitching about how they picked names for just one scene and everything, this one actually does play a lot more into the throughout because a lot of this
Yeah.
episode was family based. You had Randall and
Mhm,
Sam.
Yep.
You had Benjen and Bran. You
Even
had
Gilly and Sam.
Gilly
like
and Sam,
picking that family.
Tommen
or
and
whatever.
Jamie. So there was a lot of like father
Blood
son
talk.
blood relation stuff
All right,
in
Glenn,
this
blood talk.
episode. So I was okay. Originally, I was like, oh, come on. They picked another just single scene thing. But after thinking about it, it was like, okay, yeah, no, it kind of works throughout.
Everybody in agreement? Decent title. Nope.
I don't like it.
Don't like it. All right, we have one dissenter.
Dispute.
Explain your point.
Okay, so the actual description is Bran and Mira find a new ally. Gilly meets Sam's family. Arya makes a difficult choice. The Lannisters and the Tyrells march against the High Sparrow. What I put as what actually happens during the episode is surprise Benjen. Sam's dad is an ass. Arya saves an okay lady. The Lannisters and the Tyrells get pawned by the Faith. Dany rides a fucking Drogon. Why the fuck didn't I know about Drogon? Because I remember at this point seeing this scene and like literally like leaping out of my chair and having a reaction that was so powerful. I can't describe it. Where I was just like, Danny, yeah, slay, get it. Like she was on Dragonback at the end. You needed to prepare me for that. I feel like it was very unfair that I was not prepared. And that is my
Hey.
ultimate complaint.
Fair.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
I like your description better. Shall we go with that?
Or we're gonna submit that to HBO and see if they can redact and redo.
Yeah, it's the actual description of what happens versus
What actually fucking happens versus the description.
surprise Benjamin. Woo, you guys.
It's like those actual music videos, like what they say about what's actually going on in the music video itself.
Yeah,
Those are great.
those are great.
All right, shall we move on to least favorite thing?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's least favorite part of the episode. Ready? What was your least favorite thing? We'll start with you, Benji.
Mace leading the Tyrell army. He's just a twat. Elena should have been like, no, you're gonna stay back. Let somebody else fucking actually do what they're supposed to do. He's just such a tool that it just doesn't make sense.
Olena on a horse?
I would take
Oh.
Elena on a horse over.
But
Mace
could you
on a horse.
imagine her rallying the troops?
Yeah.
That man would be whooping. Whoop, whoop.
Exactly.
be
But I mean,
whooping.
it just
Whooping cranes.
and it's not anything bad about it works for the scene and it's meant to do what it's supposed to do, but I just
Oh.
I don't like it.
My least favorite thing isn't my real least favorite thing. I put it in the wrong column. Apparently I was drunk when I was doing my notes. Anyways, Glenn, go for it.
So the least favorite thing, probably like, I don't know, the High Sparrow stuff. In my opinion, like it's just boring.
Boring.
Hard agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same agreement, Glenn. I'm over it. Is what it is. Let's move on.
It is what it is.
Or is not. So, Sandrixian, what was your least favorite thing?
Sam's dad and fake cold hands.
Fake cold hands.
Lukewarm
I know
hands.
you don't know what that means. but
Lukewarm. That's okay.
My
I'm all right with that. No, you're fine with that.
Bony
Um,
and cold.
Luke,
I hear your mumblings.
I'm gonna. I don't know. There's a few things that, like, just by design, you don't like this episode. Yeah, Randall Tarley, kind of a dick. Not kind of, a total dick.
My dickhead
Major. I just
Major
got a
dick was running for
flashback
Big
My
of
dickhead dad this fall in the WB.
Oh, right after
Oh
James
my
Winston.
God. Major Protozoa. Anybody? No? Is he on? Yep. Okay, cool.
So I'll go with that. I'll go with Randall Tarley, just by design.
All right, perfect.
Ooh.
Glenn, let's start with you on your favorite thing.
I liked the part where Sam takes the blade, just kind of like a middle finger to the dad as he's leaving, getting out of Dodge, and like not bringing his family with him instead of having them just kind of be at Hornhill. He's just kind of taking things into his own hands, especially the blade, because he grabbed the blade with his hands. So.
His proverbial hands and physical hands.
Right.
I like it.
I like it too. Benj.
The formidable force of the Tyrells just looked badass, and then Jamie up the stairs, just like a boss. So, awesome scene with that.
Also, I like that one too. Luke.
Bran Visions, baby. I loved Bran getting his Wi-Fi password, updated and credentials, accepted, and he doesn't have to worry about you input the password wrong 3 times, you're gonna be locked out now for like 24 hours. So that's just a pain.
He's
in the
been
ass.
verified.
He's
got the blue check mark.
He's got the TSA pre-check on the Weirwood net, and I think it's just really cool the way they do those real quick cuts. I think they look good, and they're quick and make you kind of question, well, fuck, what did I just see? Like, if you don't slow it down and you see a lot of things you recognize and a lot of things you don't, and you're like, holy shit. And Bran is just my favorite in general. So how badass Mira is. I like that whole combination there.
Now that I know that there are some things that we haven't seen before, because as I was watching it 4 times, I thought that all of them, I even not necessarily slowed it down, but tried to, as he's looking, be like, okay, that's from that, do you mean not seen before, like they happen in the future? Because now
So-
I get to go whack season 6,
all-
episode 6.
Yeah, all I will say is
Is allowed to
trees
me.
don't deal with time the same way that we do.
Okay.
They live, basically, think of it more eternally.
And maybe not have seen before. I don't know. I guess I question, do you mean like we're getting glimpses into
We
like
see
burn
things
them all?
in the past, we see things in the
That's-
future, we see things in the present.
In
Bran
the
is all-knowing is
present.
So it's
kind
like-
of what we're getting
So it's
at.
Okay.
like Scrooge.
It's a lot like Scrooge
boy.
Ebenezer
McDuck.
Scrooge, yeah.
Scrooge McDuck,
Scrooge
when he
Oh,
does, you know,
man.
the Christmas
just-
night.
I just watched
Charles
DuckTales and
Dickens.
Scrooge McDuck retired to let Donald be. Oh man, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was
He
a ploy. It was a ploy, but don't
Okay,
worry.
all
Scrooge
right.
McDuck is still
still got
going
his
strong.
gold coin bathtub,
Oh, yeah.
a huge vault. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Are we gonna start
So
the DuckTales podcast anytime soon? We can
I
do that.
love
That or
DuckTales.
Darkwing Duck,
it's
some kind of
a
combination.
Hurricane.
Here in Duckburg, razor
Yes.
blades, cars, airplanes. It's a Duckburg.
Yeah.
Still like
very
Darkwing
I
good.
could
Duck
I
a
could
lot, too.
legit do the entire song. So
We
Let's-
are all
let's get
90s kids.
dangerous.
Do you guys realize this?
When there's trouble, you call DW. Come on, you cannot beat that line.
Darkwing
That's a fucking classic.
Nah,
DW
my fave
Reed.
though
what is
is
Gizmo Duck's
definitely.
secret password?
Dorothy
I don't even
Whittaker.
know if this makes me a nerd or not even
Hard
enough
part.
nerd to be a nerd. Definitely Rocket Power. We are writers.
Rocket
Rocket
Power.
on a mission.
Oh yeah, I was just watching that the other day.
Action kids in flying
And I actually just saw a
Abby,
promo
boogie
for
boogie.
Freakazoid the other day too, which was a throwback.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna get my Reggie on here and tell
Get
you
your
about my
Reggie
favorite
on.
thing. Seriously, favorite cartoon. I think my favorite thing this time was Frey making me laugh. Like seeing that side of him, even though despite his terribleness, he really is one of the worst we've discussed in length. But you lost it. It's a castle, not a bloody sheep. You know, we don't blah, blah, take it back. We don't have the numbers. It just seems so cut and dry to him. I find it humoring, I guess.
Humorous?
And,
Humorous.
I liked it a lot. Humorous, yeah, like the bone. Last but not least, Sanrixian, what was your favorite thing?
Danny fucking riding Drogon. I mean, do I even have to explain? She gets to ride her dragon. This is the first time we see her on her dragon as a dragon rider. And like the amount of power and badassness that conveys, I can't even explain. I mean, I'm pretty drunk right now, but even if I was sober, I would be like gushing because I'm so excited.
I
I'm
will
just
agree with
so
you. This is
excited
the
for
first time we see her riding her dragon, where it actually looks good that she's riding the dragon.
She rode it out of the pit.
And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
propane and propane
But
accessories.
you're right, where she's
First time.
controlling what he's doing.
accessories.
Absolutely,
I
I
like
do
that,
agree
yeah.
with you.
The
It's very
propane
cool.
accessories
First.
really, you can see them really good here.
This is her first true ownership, I would say,
Yes.
of being a dragon rider. This is her first true controlling of Drogon. She is completely in charge this time. When we see her riding it out of the pit, I feel like it's more of an escape. I feel like it's more of a fact of convenience or a plot of convenience.
Deus ex machina.
Yes, that. But it's so powerful to me. And the speech she gives, the blood of my blood, and she says it in Dothraki, and she says it from the heart. It's just so powerful to me every time I
Those
see
are
a girl, like a little tiny, like 14-year-old. I'm like, oh, Danny, yes, you get it.
I am a Danny supporter. So,
Thank
do we call them Danny shippers? For some reason, I feel like that word has been around.
No, that has to be a relationship. That has to be like,
Worship-
oh, I want
worship.
these two characters to be together.
See,
like
there's so
Brienne
many
and
things
Brienne and
that I
Tormund. You could
could
be a Brienne and Tormund
probably-
shipper.
So
It'd be
there's
like
so
a
many-
Danny hot pie. You know.
Okay,
Danny
so
Hot
there's
Pie,
so
I'd get
many
behind that.
things that I don't know that I could easily Google, but fear of knowing too much is that's a nose on the screen cap, but that's cool. Of knowing too much, I can't Google them. So like I didn't know what canon, and I get that that's probably used across many different types of books for a long time. Like, oh, that's canon. I was like,
Yep.
sure, okay.
Cannonball?
What
Canon
does that mean?
Cannonball
like,
Run?
okay, I guess, or shippers or whatever. Anyways, all right. I'm on the Danny train, kind of like a Jojen train, but it's flown
Danny,
by.
Danny. Danny. Next stop, Marie.
Targaryen.
All right, we are going to take a Danny dragon or a Jojen train to talk about our other podcasts. We have another podcast, many of others, but the one I'm going to talk about tonight is the podcast that must not be named. You can learn more about it at thepodcastthat.com. Must Not Be Named is a Harry Potter chapter by chapter reread of Harry Potter by a math teacher and an engineer. I think we need to update that description. She is now a learning coach or
A
teaching
learning
coach.
coach.
So we need to give
former
her
math
her
teacher.
accolades. Former math teacher, right?
He's coachable.
She's
She's
basically
coachable.
I did try to help her one time to write me, and it was titled "For My Boss Bitch Sister." She is a boss. So, anyways, it features my sister and my brother talking about Harry Potter. And let me pull my blessed best Glenn here. Hermione, Harry Potter, Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, everything in between, 9 3/4. This, that, and the other. I can't think of more, even though I'm the Quidditch correspondent. Quidditch.
There you go.
Yes. Thank you, Glenn.
And Harry has to catch that snatch.
Yes.
Catches the
Yes.
snatch.
Catch
Gotta
the
catch them all.
snitch.
That's a Harry Potter thing.
Pokemon.
Wizard swears.
But like I said earlier, you can learn more about that and all our other podcasts at thepodcastthat.com. Now we are going to go to the first time watcher on the wall predictions. That's me.
Over me.
Over to me. I actually have like 12, but we'll try to pick the best. Prediction number 1, which is don't believe the workbook here, folks, because I found my other ones that were maybe better. We'll see. We'll pick the best of the best. The Frey Lannister forces bargaining chip of Edmure to the Blackfish will not matter one fucking bit. He, like I, does not care about that waste of air. So, there's that.
Tobias Menzies' hate
Yes.
continues from Abby.
It shall never end. Sorry, Tobias. I'm sure you're a nice guy.
You-
And you
I'm sure
probably
you're
give
a-
to charities
sure
and
you're
you
a
have a
delightful
rescue
bloke.
dog and you support women and underfunded education. And I'm sure you're great, but I hate you. So sorry. You did it to yourself.
Okay.
Number 2. Here we go. I think Danny is going to go over to Westeros. Like, this is the new move. We're going to get back to Marine, get our forces in order, and we are headed with the Dothraki Horde and all the other supporters she has over to Westeros. My real prediction is once she gets there, her fight for the Iron Throne, she doesn't care. She realizes somehow something happens, like there's the real threat, the people's real threat is coming from the north, and she maybe I don't want to say abandons forever, but for the time being is like, fuck the Iron Throne. People need to know that this is happening, and I'm going to protect the people. And she's going to fight against that. I don't necessarily think maybe with Jon Snow. I don't really know. Maybe they team up. But anyways, her fight becomes against protecting the realms of men. Not about some stupid fucking throne, in her opinion. Because she's Dany and she's a bot bitch. So boom.
Yes.
Next. We're gonna go with Gilly and Sam here. You ready for this one? I think that Sam still goes to the Citadel. That's his plan. He told Jon that he was going there, and he is a man of his word. He has his own moral code. That will happen. He's going to go to the Citadel. But Gilly's gonna get. Ooh, this is it. She's gonna get some new digs.
Digs?
And,
You talking digs?
She's gonna get new digs.
We talking digs now.
Oh, Glenn's back.
Mhm.
We talking
Yep.
digs.
Yep, she's getting new digs
You say digs.
right outside
Oh,
the
cute.
town.
Someone mentioned
What-
digs.
Is it Old Town where the Citadel is?
It
I'm not really
is.
sure. Bam! Look at me
You're
knowing
on
shit.
fire right now, Ab.
Fire! So she's gonna get some new digs in Old Town, and then, as this all kind of plays out, right? Things are happening. Lord Tully is going to kidnap Gilly and ransom her to, I don't really know if I'm saying this correctly, but anyways, for ransom, he wants his sword back. Sam, of course, pays the ransom because Gilly's his love, and number one, you got to protect his girl with a very convincing fake, like super convincing. So,
Ab, you're
Yeah.
doing great.
thanks, buddy. Number 4. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one, I guess. Cold Hands Benjen. It's my assumption that he kind of works for the Three-Eyed Raven or is owed to him, whatever. And now Bran is the Three-Eyed Raven. Still a little fuzzy on the actual, how it actually works, but whatevs. I think Bran is going to ask or order, however it might come about, Benjen to head back to the wall and train the Night's Watch and or anybody who will fucking listen how to defeat what's to come. And that's it for predictions with the first time watcher on the wall.
Man, it's like you've only watched this for the first time. Good job.
It's so pure.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
pure.
Thanks.
I can't get over that.
So here we go. We are going to go into our house names, words, and the like. Me and the boys and I, let me be politically correct here.
Yeah, politically correct.
Yeah,
you were gonna lose, some political favor by
Yeah,
being grammatically
exactly.
incorrect.
I didn't want to. I'm always grammatically, but I figured politically correct would be right. So that means I
Check
go
your
first because I'm a
diction,
woman.
sister.
But I should go last because never mind. Anyways,
No, first.
So
yeah. So I
heroically-
will be going first tonight, and we will be doing our edited versions. Sanrixian, you will be doing the full blown
Kit and caboodles.
name thing. Yep, kitten caboodles. I am Gertie of House Condescension. My words are we don't quit. My house sigil is a field of white with a raven sitting upon a black appointed chevron. My house bannermen are the Wahlbergs of House Wahlburgers. You can find me on Twitter at Go Home Gertie. And my final thought is, okay.
Final thought. I'm gonna type that one in for you.
And a snort there. I tried to suppress it so bad. Glenn, please follow.
The PH was
So-
the snort sound.
My name is Glenn of House Dog. My house words is you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. House Sige is a Spuds McKenz. House Bannerman. House Charlie of Shell Hughes. Personal Twitter at Popsicle Stan. Final thought. This is your classic run of the mill
Season 6.
Season 6, episode 6 of Game of Thrones episode.
Written by Brian Cogman,
And
directed,
directed
by,
by David Banner.
David Banner, Jack Bender,
Jack
That one
Bender.
guy.
David Banner, the rapper, and the Hulk.
That was what-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
by David Banner and Snoop Dogg.
Interesting final thought. Much to think on for the next episode. Ben.
All right, so I am Ben, aka Slav House McLean. House words are it's dangerous to drink alone. House sigil is 3 golden triangles in a field of red and black. My bannermen are the posseers, the one you want to ride with. My personal Twitter is at Sly McLean, and my final thoughts are, all right, it was an okay episode.
Oh, I think it was better than okay, but I can't disagree on final thoughts. It was our final thoughts. Stop talking. Luke, it's your turn.
I am Lucan of House Blackmead. House words are ours is the drink. House sigil is an obsidian black chalice on a gold and blue checky background. And my house bannermen are House Charon of Night Song. You can find me on Twitter at LucaFerocious or at No One Drink. You're usually talking to me there. Final thought was I want to know what Abby was going to rebuttal Benji on the this was better than an okay episode, because I agree. That's my final thought.
Final thought is I was shutting myself up too, Benji, in all fairness. Okay?
I think this is a
Glenn.
better
no,
than okay
Glenn already
episode.
went. Fuck, who else is left? Sanrixian. Hey, do you want me to ask you all the things, or can you read them down as they go?
What would you prefer, my darling?
Whatever's easier for you.
Okay, I can read them.
Go for it.
I have to read the full thing though. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because they're so
we
good.
want to know.
We had them from season 4 when you were with us. They're so good.
My house name is House Salad. My house words are I draw and I know things. My house sigil is a Kool-Aid man with a Hawaiian shirt suspiciously shaped leaves on a skateboard with a rainbow in the BG. My house sword is Kool-Aid man's fist. My house region is Dorn. My house name is
Or your religion.
Your religion first.
my
yeah.
religion is the Church of Starry Wisdom, obviously. My horse's name, is Brendan, aka Princess Brendan Rivers, who is my steed in a Breath of the Wild run through that I'm doing.
Nice.
My house animals is Butter the snake. Butters the snake, who's a real snake. He's 35 years old and he lives in my office with me. He's very big. He's 6'5", but he's a very
Shit.
gentle dum dum. My ancestral home is a shame cube. You've all probably seen me there. My hometown newspaper is we weren't paying attention to, so here's a bunch of facts you need to catch up on. My famous house ancestor is now Septamoon. My house minstrel or fool, and don't tell him this, is LML.
He's probably wearing
Oh.
his patch face
His patch
Halloween,
face
right?
getup?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And in my fool version,
Yeah.
he is this. My house bannerman would definitely be Melanie Lot 7. And my personal Twitter is @Sanrixian. And my final thought is Drogon!
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Okay, that was the best I could do.
That was great.
Thank you.
You're doing great. That's what she
That's
kept
really
telling me.
hard.
Oh man. Okay, so become a patron. Wow. Yeah. Here we go. Starting over.
Become a tequila
Rewind.
patron.
Yeah, that's actually what I was reading. Patron. Become a oh my god, stop it. Become a patron to access our epilogue episodes and t-shirts, mugs, and glassware in our seasonal merchandise clubs. Learn more at patreon.com/stayimaginary. For all the ways you can keep our beer bank full, check out the podcastthat.com/support us. A huge thank you to Sanrixian. It has been a pleasure having you. Please come back anytime. Barring any scheduling mishaps, we will be joined by yet another wonderful guest host. Hopefully, you have a normal name guest host. I'm scrolling over to see it. Oh Lord, there's E's and I's.
It's Eliana from Girls Gone
Eliana.
Canon.
Oh, okay, cool. Eliana from Girls Gone Canon. Vowels get me. Sorry, lots of vowels, lots of ways you can interpret them.
You can buy
Eliana
vowels.
will be here next week. And Maester Monthly, known as Glass Table Girl on Reddit, and our
Arithmetric.
Damn. Somebody read this shit for me, okay?
It's gonna be Eliana. You know her.
All right, Eliana. There we go.
We don't know
sorry,
that
Eliana.
one girl.
That
You
one
know
girl.
Eliana.
Who is a glass table girl, and she's also a
Ah.
method.
She just
Mhm.
likes vowels a whole fucking lot. That's all I know about
You
her.
can ask her about it next week.
Yeah, okay.
Ask
yeah,
her
but
about Sweetfoot.
we're gonna have a talk about vowels. Let's
Ask
put
her
more
about
consonants in
ponies.
our names. Anyways,
Vowels and vowel.
you can follow us on Twitter at Know and Drink. Send us a digital raven at knowanddraink@gmail.com. Please subscribe, like, rate, and leave comments on iTunes and YouTube. And until next time, as always, I still don't know, so I'll just drink.
As always, don't turn your back on the wolf pack.
As always, winter is coming, and so am I.
As always, love y'all from the bottom of my heart.
And as always, stay. I gotta turn the phone on.
Imagery.
Imaginary.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Commercial, folks.
I get to be the host this time, so I get to say, hey, chat, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm sorry. Obviously, I have problems just fucking reading the workbook, so I'm not on there tonight, but I appreciate you, and I can't wait to look back and read all your
way to
spoiler-filled comments. Put them on there.
Oh my god.
All right.
Are we
Thank you,
clear?
guys. We love you. Not sure. Are we sticking?
I'm-
Want to stick
On
around?
a
I don't think I
Sunday,
got
Sunday
anything.
night, Sanrixian's blasted. She's drunk.
Shh, I'm not that drunk. Nobody needs to know.
I'm not
We can
that
keep it
drunk.
secret.
He's not that drunk.
I'm not dead yet.
No,
You will be.
Sanrixian.
Yes, ma'am.
Yo, I need a way to contact you. But you don't
at
have to
Sanrixian.
throw the real way. What's the best way?
At Sanrixian on Twitter.
On Twitter. All right, cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit you up.
The personal.
You're a
Twitter.
kindred spirit. That's all.
And you're a
I
Kinder
got
Egg
you,
too.
girl.
A fuck Kinder eggs.
I
Kinder
had a
Egg.
I hate
Kinder
that.
Egg.
I hate those $2.39 piece of
They
shit
come with
candies
dinosaurs.
that my kids don't even eat the candy, and then I throw the fucking treat away in 30 minutes because guess what? They've broken it or they can't put it together, and I'm not stepping on it.
You put the skeleton in the dinosaur. I had like a handful of them.
I have 3 kids. That's $7 at least. By the time I get out of the fucking grocery store, not happening. No Kinder eggs for us. Out of here. Do you know they used to be illegal?
Really?
Yeah, only
So-
until about a year ago, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But
So
the ones we
It's
have
because they
still
were
aren't the
laced with
real Kinder
cocaine.
Eggs.
no,
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 it's
no,
'cause it- choking hazards.
meth.
No, yes. It's because the surprise eggs that all the freaking crazy little kids used to watch people open online on YouTube. They're in Europe and you opened them and they were actually inside the candy.
Yeah,
In America, like what is
it's
it?
now like an
FDA?
inside, like an
It's two
egg. Like
sides.
it's
Well, it's this the standards that we have here. You can't put anything non-edible inside food. So they had to like split the egg and now they're available. Imagine
Yeah.
that. Great. Great fucking
Yeah.
news,
And
Walmart.
apparently they like really suck the American versions. I haven't had one,
Split
but
the egg. That sounds like a mythical astronomy thing to talk about there.
Oh, like the egg? Is that what you said?
to do they split the egg. It is known.
They do.
It is
2
known.
foil wraps. It is known. Fucking Kinder eggs.
All right.
I've had
Way
good
less.
hit us with the goddamn fucking reference there. Very nicely done, Ab. Cheers.
Sorry. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
I know a lot
goodbye,
of shit.
chat. We love you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Chad.
Good
We
night.
love you. See you, JD.